Hey everyone, it's me, it's the dude Broman, the Hiberian. Welcome to my stream. Today we're burning logs. That's the whole stream. Feel free to leave. Yo, sup, Uno? How you doing, bud? How's the sound? Music's probably too loud. Dude. I'm doing well. Just woke up a little bit ago. Starting my day. Let's do a little WoW fishing over here in the corner. We're looking for the rare fish from Iron Forge. How you been, man? How's school going? Christmas break soon? Do you get one of those? Come on, give me the fish. Give me the fish. That's good. It's like pretty late at night for you, right? play World of Warcraft, I'm basically full bis. I need to enchant my boots, and I need a new belt. And I don't remember what else. I think that's it. I have the shield, I have the weapon, I have the chest, and 4 pieces of tier set. I'm gonna be fishing for at least 1 hour. I used the lure. Alright, see you. I don't know how long I'm gonna be streaming for. An hour or so, probably. Maybe 2. See you later, bud. Yeah, that'll work. I can see the chat, I can see Mia, I can see Melvor, and you guys can see WoW. Alright, that'll do. gonna go numb if I sit like that. How many fish can I hold? 6,000. 600. My rabbit's being loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Just digging at the carpet. Do, do. It's gonna take me about 3 hours to fill my inventory at this rate, I think. divine plea. Maybe, maybe our prayer will be answered. I got a rare item. That's exciting. 17-pound catfish offhand. How much does that sell for? Do I have all the things on? Or TSM? 60 silver. Damn, these fish are down 90%. Hi, Lunatone. 117 fire making. Three more to go. The fuck was that? Yo, um, yeah, I guess I'm feeling better today, Tyler. How are you doing? Look at all these fish. This is about 2 hours worth of fishing. Yeah, I'm going for old crafty. Yeah, it's entirely RNG and it can happen on the first cast or the 10,000th cast. Yeah, I told DoorDash I'm not resubbing. Fuck them. They closed the chat window on me when I said it. I told them to bring me a bunch of sandwich stuff and they brought me bread and water. It's like, don't bring anything at that point. Just fucking cancel the whole order. Let me go to the store, I guess. Like, if I buy on sale items, like store brand items, they're like $10 cheaper than name brand items. But they'll bring me the name brand item if I let them, and they'll charge me the $10 more. So it's really not worth doing. I got a 19-pound cat, 17-pound catfish. No, the store's never been out of it when I had to go and look myself. The Dasher just doesn't spend long enough at the store. From when I placed my order to when it was at my house yesterday was less than an hour. It was like 40 minutes. So that means with travel time, he spent like 20 minutes in the store. You can't even walk the whole store in 20 minutes. But it's like, buy me the store brand or buy me nothing, man. And then they buy you nothing and your money's tied up in DoorDash. And DoorDash was like, well, that sucks. Just wait 3 days. It's like, bitch, you took my money and you didn't bring me what I wanted. And you go to the store and it's fucking right there. Full stocked. Shitload of them. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Just, they're not out of the items. Whenever I go and check, they have it. They just didn't get it for me. Like the Dasher yesterday spent less than, like, he spent maybe 20 minutes in the store. And I had stuff from all of the, like, not every aisle, but like half of the aisles basically. And he only brought me like basically bread and water and kale. And I had like frozen stuff, sandwich ingredients. It's fucked up.
Wow.
Thanks for the sub. Look at him going crazy up there with his Drake Van Cleaver or whatever that is. I forget. Drake Talon. You've subscribed for 22 months. Yeah, it was a $50 order, Tyler, and they brought me they didn't bring me $30 worth of the stuff. And it takes a minimum of $35 to place a grocery store order. They didn't keep it. Like, they're giving me a refund. It just takes 3 days to get a refund from DoorDash. I'm just pissed about it. But that was the end of my day. That was like literally 7 o'clock. That's what I did. As soon as I was able to. And I woke up today at like noon, so I slept for fucking 14 hours or whatever. Doesn't Sam need 2 rings, or does he have one of them? I know he's been soft requesting one. I don't know if he needs the saffron ring or not. I'm supposed to get the saffron ring and the KT ring, but I'm waiting. That's what it says on the True Biss. And it's like, I don't know if I need True Biss. I'm pretty good. I was like, why is my spell power so low? It's because I got my fishing pole on. They're having a hard time on Stay Safe stream. He pugged Ulduar. It took 2 days, but they did kill every boss in Karazhan Gear, so they did all normal. But there are people clearing hard modes, and there's people doing attempts on Algalon. So I would expect Algalon to get cleared the first day, probably. But they were not having an easy time in Ulduar. They were having a pretty hard time. I don't even know what the Iron Council does. It like puts some shit on the ground you have to avoid and whatnot. Or you're not supposed to avoid it. You're supposed to stand in it, and it makes you cast harder. I think we won't have too hard of a time with it. It'll just be deciding how hard of it we want to do. Yeah, hard mode we probably need some Ulduar gear for. Yogg, you have to like stand out of the clouds and stuff, or else it summons extra ads, so I think we're gonna I think we're gonna struggle really hard. Positioning is hard for our raid. Stand in the light. Stand away from the tentacles. Attack the right kind of tentacles. I still don't even have the zoom out macro. I need to get that again so that I can see better. Because, like, it takes up so much of my fucking screen. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Sam clicks, but he's pretty good at it. I click some stuff. Can I get the fish, please? No, I haven't got the giant rat yet, so I have to do that. I have to do old craft. You have to do old iron jaw. I have to get all of the fishing holes. How many days did it take you to do 4,000? Because that's like 10 or 11 hours. Yeah. Hell yeah. I didn't even know you had the fishing turtle. Or the sea turtle. It goes faster underwater, right? Like regular speed instead of slowed? Or did they do that later? That's pretty cool. Sucks there's no mount favorite button, so you can't have just like a flying, you can't have a flying, swimming, and running mount on the same keybind without doing a macro. Because, like, the Vashir Seahorse and stuff in retail is what I'm talking about. Like, you can just, you can be underwater and mount up on that. And that shit's 300% in water, so, like, you get in the water in, like, AV or something like that, you can fuck around for a while. Or not AV, Arathi Basin. I don't think there is. Maybe swimming or swimmable. Go check the auction house, see if these are worth cooking. I've got my WoW in a resized window right now. That's why it looks kind of hazy on the stream. It actually feels pretty good not playing on the full size of my TV. Melvor's pretty good. I have one boss to kill in the normal base game, and then I've killed everything. Oh, 5 silver. I mean, I'll post those. One boss. All my skills are over level 100. I have the max cape for that. I've got three or four skills. Oh shit! I just got baited. Come on. How is my Melvor grind coming? We can look at that. True completion 70%. Base game 89%. Throne of the Herald at 18%. Show undiscovered items. Weird Gloop is going to be my last item that I make in the game. Um, Red Party Hat, Green Party Hat, those are extremely expensive. These come from doing the last event. I have to finish these. There's a God Sword that's made by combining several of the other God Swords, and right before the event came out, I sold myself down to one God Sword of each kind. So that kind of sucks. Burning Mans? I don't even know what those are. Maybe fire making. Yeah, these are just the other township ones that I have to do. I have to do the township tasks for. This is my tasks. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Let me finish WoW real quick. How come there's not a mailbox like right here? I thought there was supposed to be one in Wrath, but they didn't do it. Okay. Almost done. Oh, the music stopped. There. 7 silver apiece instead of 75 copper. That's more like it. These are worth a gold apiece? They're not gonna sell. Almost did it again. How much is this worth a gold? I'll sell it for a gold. Alright, let's close out of that. Go back to Melvor Idol. Alright, so these are the things that I'm missing. The township skilling items, basically, and it, like, really long grinds. Like, I think it's 2 billion gold, and the most I've ever had is 200,000, so I need 10 times more money than I've ever had, to buy the Red Party hat. Yeah, 2 billion. I need to steal some carrot seeds so I can get started growing those. Plant some carrion tree. Yeah, carrion tree is what I'm going to be burning soon, so I need to keep getting that up. But it's cool that you get money for fire making. Like, that's pretty sick. Yeah, and I have double value on the logs. Okay, do we have the tasks up? Yes. Here's the tasks. This is what I have to do. seems to be a good way to make gold. I'm making more than I make overnight thieving and stuff, so. But I don't have to do all of these quests. I just have to do most of them so that I can finish the Melvor Idol township. Why do I keep calling township Melvor Idol? So I can do the township tasks. I need to do like 4/5 of these, I think. I think there's like 10 I can skip or something like that. Yeah, there's like 50 tasks here that I have to do. But as you can see, my skills over here, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 120s completed, and I had cooking and farming done already. Fire making's almost done. Fishing will be really easy. Mining is almost done. Smithing is basically done. Thieving will just take time. I'm finishing the mastery doing that, so I'm not maximizing XP per hour. Fletching, I got to 100 and I stopped. I have a bunch of stuff to make dragon javelins, except for I think I burned all my redwood. Yeah, I burned all my redwood, so I need to chop some more of that before I make any dragonite stuff. What do I have left in here? I only have one dragonite bar. I guess I turned that into township. What do you want to see? Do you want to see the new stuff? This is township. These are the buildings I have to upgrade. I'm upgrading cottage, 2 large cottage. It takes 12,000 stone each time, and I can only hold like 12,000 because I have it capped. But I get to do this. So, boom. Spend 244 ticks, bro. $288, I mean. So each day that I spend, I get to upgrade 3 more. Well, I'm out of days. I'm out of ticks. But this is going to be 120 soon. And then I get to, wear the cape or whatever. Let's look at my mastery. This is my mastery page. So cooking's done, wood cutting's done, fishing it will be easy, fire making I'm like almost level 90 on all of them. Mining I'm like level 90 on all of them. Smithing I'm halfway done only, like what the fuck. Thieving I'm almost done. This is only showing base game though, I think, because I've done almost none of the high level thieving. Rune crafting will take a while, but I'll finish rune crafting way before I finish the mastery, so I'm not worried about it. Here's my pets. Into the Mist, Summoning, Impending Darkness. These township ones I think you buy. But Into the Mist is the last. I have to do that 5 times, I think. And then Impending Darkness is the one that I haven't finished. I should do it soon. Yeah, I've just been idling on doing stuff because I've got it all set up to where I can finish the last boss of the base game. I just don't know if I'm ready to be done with the base game and have all of the expansion open before me yet. It's I think I want to wait until I have like more fish and stuff so that I can idle overnight. I'm also waiting for the Can I Idle website to be updated. I don't know if they're going to or not. They haven't said anything on the subreddit or anything. So, who knows? What's this? Asmongold might have diabetes. What browser do I have open in here? Chrome. You do astrology, and then it drops the meteorites, and then you can mine the meteorites to make meteorite items. Yeah, they're entirely random, so nice. There's a bunch of mods that you can download, or like, yeah, you download them, I guess. Install them to the game. But one of them is infinite AFK time, so you could like set it to fish whales and then stop playing for a month. I don't have that. They upped the idle time from 18 hours to 24. That's plenty for me.
know what diabetes.
Oops.
See, I don't even know what diabetes is. I have no idea what it is. I figure like if I don't know what it is, it can't happen.
What
to
the
me.
fuck is going on?
If you're diabetic, what is like? What are the symptoms of being pre-diabetic? Well, I'll say the hair. Shut up. Blurry vision. Bro, I can see a spider web in the dark. I don't have blurry vision at all. Thirsty? I'm never thirsty. Fatigue is one. Never get tired. Numbness in limbs? Not really, no. Irritable? True. Being me? Probably, yeah.
That's funny. So that didn't work out very well. Yeah, it like everything's still good. It's official mod support. It's right here actually. So these are all official. Well, they're not official. They're just community sanctioned. Like I have this one ETA. That one's pretty good. That tells me like if I start smithing bars or something like that, it'll take into account my resource preservation, and it'll be like come back on Saturday. Then you come back on Saturday at the time it says, and there's like 10 left, and you're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You want to look at my bank? My whole bank value is not even enough to get the freaking hat if I liquidated everything. Maybe if I processed everything and then high alked it all, I could. But like, there's 2 swords, 1 sword, and the swords take like 5 of each. Yeah, 5 of each. I made all this armor, got it all upgraded and stuff, and I was like, yeah, let's throw that on. You must complete Impending Darkness to wear that. Yeah, I have a lot of bank slots. I spend a lot of money on it. And then I also did the township tasks where you can turn in some stuff to get 5 tokens, and then turn in 5 tokens to get like 8 tokens, and turn in like 8 tokens to get 10 tokens. So I had like a bunch of tokens. And then I did the god dungeons a lot. I never really got any out of there. I think I got like 3. So these are all just raw bot. And each one of those is 5 million, by the way. So I guess if I was doing like 12 slot 12 slot inventory challenge, I could have done it. I could have bought the hat. I have 14 million prayer or prayer points. Do you see that? No, I don't think you can see that. Oh yeah, you can. Right there, 14 million. That's from those vases. So I'm ready on prayer points. I want to level my hit points all the way up before I do the impending darkness, probably. Um, so I got to do some Slayer. But I'm like 1 hour away from unlocking everything from the DLC. I just got to sit down and do it. And I can't really do it on stream. I could probably record it, but I have to have like the sheet open that tells you which ones to avoid and when to run and stuff. Cuz I think they made it so that he can't stun you and then hit you again for double damage right away. Uh I don't really know how that all changed. I haven't done much combat since the expansion came out. It's kind of weird to think that it's been out for almost 2 months already, and I haven't, I haven't done any of the content yet. You know, in January when Sam tried to get me to play this game, I was like, I don't have time to play this game. I don't want to get addicted. And now look at me a year later. I have over 1,000 hours of played time. Like 1,300 or something. How much is it? I knew I was going to. I was literally thinking before they said that. I was like, I wish I could play RuneScape without playing RuneScape. Like, what if I could just leave it running and it would get me logs or something? And then they were like, yo, do you want to try this? And I was like, no, I don't want no part of that shit. 1,600 hours. Posted in Discord. And that's time that I had it open, not time that I was thinking about it. It was my number 1 subreddit in my year in review. Reddit said I was in the top 2% of karma earners, and I guess that makes sense because I made like 2,000 something. But like, there are people with 30,000 karma, and I have like 3,000. So I guess the gap between 2% and 1% is like a lot of a lot of upvotes or something. Yeah, a lot of people don't even sign in to Reddit. They're like, why would I make an account? Do you remember G4 when Kevin Pereira and Kevin Rose were on there with the blonde girl? I forget her name. Kevin Rose is the guy that made Reddit. I remember when he was like, "I'm working on a forum," and then a couple months later he was like, "I gotta leave G4. I'm too good for this shit." Yeah, Kevin Rose and some other guys. And then there's Kevin Pereira, fucking still being the fucking SJW for some reason, but like too far, and everybody hates him for it for some reason. Oh, maybe not Reddit. Was it not Reddit? Dig. What is this? I'm pretty sure he made something. 2008, Kevin Rose. Oh, no, it wasn't him. I swore that was true though. Swore up and down. No, people don't like Kevin Pereira because he not Kevin Rose, Kevin Pereira, the annoying guy from G4. But he was like telling people that they need to be better people and stuff like that, and everybody pushed back on it. That was when G4 was on Twitch still. Let's see if I can find it. Well, they're attacking him for liking NFTs. This one. Let's see what he has to say. Yeah, there we go. He wants social currency for Discord. That's what it was. Let's see what this is. Dig. Dig is what he made. What is dig? It is a trash website full of clickbait. This is what he made. Oh, hold on, that's Discord. I want to post it in here so it's in the chat window. Yeah. What the fuck, man? What is this? Like Neuralink? It's Elon Musk with a rat? It's people showing off their Apple Watch at Disney? This is what he made. I thought it was Reddit, but it was not.
What's big this mean? Sure. Well, Dig essentially started off as a way for people to promote the news that they care about. So if you're on the web and you find a story, you see one of those little buttons that says Dig this. When you click,
Let me put this on Chrome so we can see it.
What's dig this mean?
sure. Well, Dig essentially started off as a way for people to promote the news that they care about. So if you're on the web
What
and
the
you
fuck?
find a story and you see one of those little buttons that says Dig this, when you click it,
I hate Streamlabs OBS. Somebody needs to make a nicer program. Add browser source. Let's just add a display capture.
click it, you will be taken to a form where you can say, okay, I want to give this a title and description. It's an article or something that I read that was really interesting to me and I want to share it with others. Once you give it a title and description and assign it a category, say politics or entertainment news, you submit it to the site. It doesn't go on the front page for everyone to see. It goes in this kind of upcoming area, and thousands and thousands of people go in there looking for great articles and stories. If they see your story and they dig it, they're adding one to the overall count of the number of digs on that story. So if the second person digs it, it'll have 2 digs, and the third person 3. Once enough people dig it, our algorithm is scanning through these stories, and if it finds gems, like stories that are up and coming that have enough votes on them, it puts them in front of on the homepage for everyone to see. So it's a completely community-driven website in that there's millions of people that come there and organize that front page. It's not done by any one editor.
So the way it gets to other people's eyeballs is just people who know about Dig.com and go there to see what's hot on Dig right now.
Right, exactly. There's a little over 26 million people a month that come to Dig.
26 million people a month and 14 years ago?
News, videos,
I wonder how many it is now. Billions?
Drudge, you see the news prioritized according to what he thinks is
But apparently, when I was googling him, he's worth like 60 million or something now.
If you go to Dig, you go and see the news.
Yeah, maybe it's like total value, but it said he sold his Bitcoin. Yeah. It says he's worth 60 million 12 years ago. So maybe he's out of money now. This is what I'm referencing. Yeah, dude, only 10 million a year. Did you know they give you different amounts of money based on where the Twitch Prime is from? I found that out a couple months ago. There's a guy that Twitch primes to me from Turkey, and it's like 23 cents. It's kind of interesting. I wonder where the cheapest prime is. Can I like buy Argentina Prime for like $8 and use it for a whole year? Give Asmongold 4 cents. What do you want to listen to? The Attack of the Show theme. Let's listen to this. I haven't heard this in years. The thing I was playing when I was fishing was psychedelic trance. It's a 1 hour mix. I can show it to you. Damn, this theme sucks. This is the song. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Attack. ...2011 theme extended clean mix. 2006 intro version A, maybe that's it? Yeah, this is the one I remember. $15,000 views on this video of just the intro. I'm still in the WoW section, aren't I? No. That's what I got set up here? Alright. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what's going to happen when I do this. Alright, can you hear me again? Cool, cool. Let's get this all set up right. I want this on a different page than that. This is showing the YouTube one. Good, good, good. Did you see the new Stay Safe video yet?
What is up, guys? Stay safe here. I've got to say, all of the rumors are true. What rumors? The rumors that Old War is one of the best raids of all time, if not the best raid ever made. So I've just got done clearing Old War on the PTR over the last day or two, and this is my first time raiding Old War in like
What the
15
hell?
years, and I am so surprised at how good that this raid is. So Ulduar is very unique in that it's WoW's only raid to implement a
Here we
hard
go.
mode system, with almost all the bosses having a hard mode that can be activated based on your raid's performance. And of course, all the hard modes give insane extra loot. It's this system, in addition to the raid's design and overall layout, that makes it feel super amazing, frankly, and adventurous.
What is it?
Now,
What
there
is
are
going on
14
here?
bosses in total, 3 optional bosses you could skip if you wanted, 9 hard modes, and 1 bonus boss, Algalon, that can only be unlocked by high-performing guilds that are clearing several of the raid's most
Unlock.
difficult hard modes. Oh, and by the way,
Transform,
there are multiple
reset.
different orders in which you can clear
There we
these
go.
bosses, depending on your guild's preference that individual week. In my opinion, this is the real highlight of the raid, that both casual and more hardcore guilds alike can find rewarding challenges and work through bosses in pretty much whatever order they see fit. My community guild, for instance, which I would say is casual plus.
Stay Safe is
though we did get our Black
the
Pro
streamer I
cards
watch
in
the
our
most
normal
right now,
titles,
and he's about to go on a
5
vacation
to
for 2
7
weeks.
hard mode
So I'm
timeline
gonna
to
like
progress
stop
through
watching
all of
Twitch
the
probably.
hard modes.
Nobody
I can
streams
also
in the
say
timeline
this,
that
I've
he
done
does,
live coverage
so
of the last
it's
4
like either watch
classic
3
WoW
streamers
Games
or
of
watch
Warcraft
no one.
events, where we simultaneously watch several top guilds compete and race against one another, and with each raid in Classic WoW's history, there's been at least one top guild that's had a perfect day 1 run, meaning no wipes. That will most definitely be changing in Old War. Everyone watching this video will become very familiar with this experience over the next couple weeks. Even the best guilds in the world are going to have to deal with this experience. It's called wiping. That being said, if you want to reduce your chances of wiping in Old War, you need to get a hold of some Power Gum, which is caffeinated, minty, great-tasting chewing gum with essential vitamins: vitamin D, vitamin B3, B6, and B12.
Cupin's bought some of the
We're
Stay
also
Safe scum.
doing a Power Gum St. Jude
He said he
Children's
likes it,
Hospital
but I've only
fundraiser
seen him
up
chew
until
one
December
piece.
25th, during which $5 from every box of Power Gum purchased is being donated. So go pick some up for yourself, or
Yeah.
buy a great Christmas present, or a stocking stuffer.
Cupin's
for your
also
cause.
fucking gave
Now,
Stay Safe
back
like
in
20 subs or something
2009,
like
Old
that.
War's
It's like,
two
dude, you're
most difficult
wasting all your
bosses,
Twitch money.
Algalon
You're
and
supposed to spend that
Yogsong
on
plus
weed.
Zero Keepers, took nearly 2 months and 3 months, respectively, for the top guilds to complete. Without a doubt, these raids will be cleared more quickly today, but I can confidently say that Old War has an extremely fun sense of progression to be had for guilds of every difficulty level. Generally speaking, there aren't really any annoying mechanics that cause wipes or feel out of your control or like they're due to bad RNG like we've seen with some other classic round counters over the last couple years. I'm really talking about Lady Vag here. Speaking of RNG, I've got an Immortal and a Black Proto-Drake now on 2 of my characters, so I know how absolutely annoying some of these next
Oh,
ranks
nice.
achievements
My,
can be. However, in Old War, the
my
achievements
Twitch
required
payout
for the
stuff
big
updates
meta
tomorrow.
achievement and to get your Old War Proto-Drake are actually pretty reasonable and really just require your raid to pay attention and follow some basic instructions. Once again, there's not a ton of RNG involved here either. I've also seen some DPS simulations come out suggesting that the Old War DPS meters might actually end up being the most balanced raid tier that we've seen so far in Classic WoW. Now, of course, sims are known to have their errors, but so far Classic WoW hasn't exactly been known for its DPS balancing. So I'm looking for some good news. There are still some extremely over and underperforming specs, namely Death Knights and Red Paladins, but in general,
Dude, look how bad
things
Red
that I
Paladin
think
is.
might end up being pretty good actually for most DPS specs.
I don't think he has a deal with the dispensaries. There was another guy that I found that does have a deal with the dispensaries. He gets free weed to reach out to people on Twitter. But he's trying to find Florida creators.
On average, 14 weeks to build.
Yeah, slightly worse.
Meaning your guild will be building 1 Valenor
Poor Adam.
about every 3.5 months.
What if he
That being
crushes
said,
it though?
if your guild is
What if
throwing in
he
some hard
is
moves
the
there,
the
or
one,
killing
dude?
Algalon
What
as
if he
well,
sees
you
through the
can
code?
shave off
Whatcha!
several weeks from this process
And he just
because
he
hard
hits
mode
exorcism
will
at just the
have
right
a
time on Art of War every time. No
But
downtime.
anyway, with all of this being said about Ulduar, I'm thinking to myself, will Ulduar be Classic WoW's best raid to date? I
Cupid said he
actually
spends
genuinely think so. It's rewarding to raid both 10-man and 25-man modes.
A
due to the
lot
increase
of
in hard mode loot item
a lot of
level.
money on
Those
weed.
are
He was talking to
simultaneously
Stay
adding
Safe's
heroic
chat where
buffs
Stay
then
Safe was
during this
talking
phase
about his
of
roommate spending
players to
800
all
bucks on
get
weed,
caught up.
and Cuban
We're
said,
also getting a
"That's
50%
it."
XP bonus to level our altar for new players to get into the
Yeah,
game,
that's
running from
what
December
sucks about
15th
parses
to
is
January
like
16th.
if you
Plus,
play a
all the
class that there's
dailies,
100 people and
notifications,
you're
and rewards
number
for the
one
first
on the
round
DPS meter of the
before
100
when
people,
order comes
you're
out.
100
Classic WoW
parse.
is about to get
But like,
really good in my opinion.
it's
Now, I
fucking
know we've
it's
only
what
had a
170,000 holy paladins or something like that. So like, even if I'm better than 100,000 of them, I'm still a 50 parser.
Talk about it. Like the video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel for more.
So why is everybody so good at Wrath Holy Paladin?
In general,
I didn't even know it was
catch me live on
popular.
Twitch. Go click the link below. Drop a follow on Twitch, and also go buy some power gum. I would appreciate it a lot. It's my own business, so it means a lot. It really does. And also,
Like,
thank you.
Bursey's always
As always.
getting like high 80s and stuff because there's not enough resto druids.
It's January 3rd, 2006. World of Warcraft
I knew it was going to be
latest
popular. I
patch
just
has
didn't.
just
I didn't
dropped,
anticipate how
1.9,
popular
the
Holy
Gates
Paladin
of
was going to be.
Entourage. You hear it comes with a whole new raid over in the desolate and forlorn zone of Silithus. So eagerly you set about it, gathering your buffs and consumables with 39 of your most elite guildies in tow to give those bugs
This is a
firm
Willy
slapping
video.
and to collect some perps. Only to get there and find, well, you can't get in. It's locked. Ah, well, there has to
It's
be some kind of
locked.
attunement then. We've had those before. Molten Core had one. You needed to go run through Blackrock Depths and touch a stone outside the instance. Blackwing Lure had one too, and that was pretty fast. You just loot the Quartermaster NPC outside for the letter, and then you can use the teleporter. This one should be pretty fast too. Right? As it turns out, there was quite a bit more to this one. Little did players know at the time, but the task that Blizzard had set them to enter AQ 20 and 40 was without a doubt the largest collaborative server-wide event that's ever been
this
introduced
frozen?
to World of Warcraft. And that
No,
remains
he's just
true
using
to
pictures.
this day.
What the
It
fuck,
would be the
Willy?
catalyst for so many server-defining moments, and for memories that would stick with people long after their
I kind of hate
subscription
the
lapsed.
trend
This
people
is
have
a
been
story
doing
of
in
sweat,
videos
the
where they like
griefing,
write a
and
script
drama.
and then they read the
This is
script and then
opening
they just
of the
use
gates of
B-roll
Barrage
footage. It's
in
like,
World of
no.
Warcraft. So then, this
No.
whole opening the gates
not what I
stuff,
want.
What do we actually need to do here? Well,
Like
in
this.
essence, it's
Why is he
pretty
slowly
simple. You need
flying
two
in a
things to
circle
happen.
around this?
First of all,
Like
is
Jerome
the
was trying to
war
get into
effort
this when
has
I was
been
talking to him about
completed.
video
This
making
is a
too. He's
shopping
like, it's
list
so
of
good.
items to
Everyone
end
likes
your
it. And I'm
shopping
like,
list of
I've
items.
read every
It's a
comment on your
collection
videos
of
and nobody
materials that
says they
represent
like
the
it.
raw cost of setting up
Everybody
Azeroth's
does not
combined
mention it.
forces to go up against the minions of an old god. After the war effort is completed, there's a grace period that lasts a couple of days where the materials are transported to the desert, after which the second thing that needs to happen comes in. And that is for a player to have assembled the Scepter of the Shifting Sands.
The Scepter.
And to bang the Scarab Gong outside the
The
creatively
Scepter of the
named
Shifting
Scarab
Sands.
Wall. This would unlock the gate for the first time in many years, unleashing ancient
Yeah, I
horrors
guess, you
upon
know, if you can
Azeroth.
put
This was
stills
called the
in, why
10-hour
not?
war, or probably more accurately, the 10-hour server stress test. This was true both in vanilla and classic. This was 10 hours of chaos as the defenders, or attackers maybe, of AQ flocked out the freshly opened gate upon the denizens of Azeroth. Being there in game for the opening was truly a sight to behold, and there's been nothing quite like it since, and though we can't fully go back to that moment, you can relive it. Thanks to today's sponsor, Displate. In 2013, three guys reimagined the poster into something more durable and lasting. Each product is a high-quality design printed on metal and is hand-signed by the master production in Europe. There are thousands of designs featuring artists from Marvel, Star Wars,
Yo, what up, Crazy?
D&D, and yep, World of Warcraft, ranging from the classic WoW enjoyers all the way to the
Yeah,
more
if
modern
I
game
if
in
I had something to
Dragonflight.
talk
You
about,
can choose from
there was
three
one guy
sizes
at the
and a
beginning of my
gloss or
fishing
matte finish,
session,
and
but
an
then
extra
for a
bonus
fucking
is that
hour I
for
was
each
alone.
purchase, Displate plant a tree in Africa as part of the Forest Garden project. There's also a safe and
I don't know
sturdy
if people would
magnet
like it if
mounting
I started
system on
talking
the
about
wall,
politics.
which literally takes less than
Cheryl
a minute
says
to
my
set up,
my
so
politics
there's
are
no need to go
bad.
damaging your walls for the
She-
sake of
She
decoration.
says one
and it
world
also
government
makes them
is
really
bad and
easy
stuff
and
like that.
convenient to swap out whenever you want. Display your passions with pride and save up to 30%
Yeah, I could go-
using the discount link in the description. Where the
I'm thinking
discount is
about,
applied automatically. Many
some
thanks
stuff to
this
do for
place
stream, like,
sponsor today.
I've got
Let's talk about
just kill
Simple enough so
rep
far,
grinds
but
to do.
What do you get from all this? Well, it was no small undertaking. Trust me, when we get into a bit more detail on what this whole opening the gates actually needs, you'll see what I mean. Anyways, rewards. Well, for
Like,
the
I'm
more effort
in
as
favor
you
of
go into
a
materials, you
grey
get bonuses
tracksuit,
that gave random greens
fucking
and a bit of
concrete
reputation with your
building
faction
given to you.
capital.
That's your
Anyone could
home for your
contribute to
entire
this,
life.
from a level 10
Fucking
handling some peace
kinda
screens to a
government.
60 doing a
But
stack of
everyone
real
does not
war.
know that.
This part was never really about the rewards. What was, however, was the scepter of the shifting sands and banging the gong. This extremely lengthy
Yeah,
and
she knows
unique
I'm wrong.
quest had some amazing epic item rewards, unique cooking recipes, special boss fights, and roleplay events. There was the eternal glory of being the guy on your server who opened the raid. Oh, and there's also this mount you get too, the black
People could
battle
rage.
tank.
That would-
It's one of the
I don't
mounts
think
from inside
people that
1840,
watched
but
me
it
would
works
rage
outside,
though.
and
Like
it's
if they were able to
nice.
find my
The
content,
title
they'd probably
wasn't
have fringe
available
beliefs
in
as well.
vanilla. You weren't officially a
But
Star
I'm
Wars
like-
until the launch of
I'm
TBC.
really
when Blizzard
centrist,
added it in.
so
there's your little introduction
it's like I
to
don't
the event.
really
That's
have
what
strong
needed to get
feelings
done, and
one
that's
way or
what
the
you
other.
get
I have
from it. Now
medium
for how it
feelings
really
both ways.
all went down. Let's
Yeah,
cover
dude, they
off
could
the
be like,
war effort
"What do you
first,
mean?
or the shopping
It
list."
shouldn't be
Each
lycra,
faction
it should
and
be
every single server had a
neoprene."
collection of
They're
items
talking
that
about the
had to
gray
be turned
suits,
in
but
before
like
someone was
they're
eligible to
disagreeing
bang
on the
gong and
material.
start off the war. Even if you had assembled a scepter in 24 hours, it meant nothing if the war effort had not been completed. This made it arguably even more of a priority, not only due to the volume of items needed, but also because there was a grace period between you completing the war effort and someone being eligible to sound the gong over in Silithus. Some servers, both in vanilla and classic,
I don't
simply
know. I
didn't
could
have
watch
the
the news
population to
and just
realistically
comment on
be
it all,
able to
but
gather all of these items, and went months without being able to access the new raid. In time, Blizzard would add
Easy
an auto
B-roll.
feature that would contribute a certain
Dude, I-
percentage of items needed every single
I really
day,
hate
and
the
eventually
boosting
they go on to
nerfs
give
that
people
they
the
did
helping
to
hand they
Classic.
needed
I
and
wanted
so
to
on,
be
set the
able to
event
one pull
done.
more
Also,
stuff.
there were several realms at the time which were in an awkward position of, whilst being very large, they were only very large on
Like,
one faction. So if there were 10,000
Whatever, I guess.
and 100 alliance
All the
players, well,
video's
Horde
frozen.
would go and have to do the war effort for the alliance. This did happen on a number of realms, which people did through trading through the neutral auction houses and transferring characters with gold to those realms. Though I suspect a few less legitimate ways of securing gold were used too here. As for how many items you actually needed, I did a bit of
Like
maths on the
before Wrath
numbers,
came
and
out,
for
they
example,
were
the Alliance
they were
needed a total
making
of
videos about holy paladins
2,443,000
using sacred shield, being able to
individual
full pull
items,
Strathholm,
including
and I was like,
90,000
ooh,
copper bars,
that sounds
400,000 cloth
interesting.
bandages, 110,000 medium leather, and 600,000 silk bandages. The Horde had
Crazy
to
just
gather
woke up,
quite
dude. He's got
literally 1 million
he's got
items
yeah,
from the
exactly. He's
Alliance,
got to get his
popping up
breakfast
some
on and stuff.
1,408,000 items needed in total. This was because Horde had a number of higher quality items that had to be gathered, so it evened out a bit. I'm only joking, of course. The real reason is that Blizzard loves the Horde and wanted it to be easier for them. What started to become noticeable with this event was that each server was a little bit different.
Blizzard
and
does
this is
love the
something
Horde.
which will very much carry forward when we get around to assembling the scepter. In fact, each server
You had a
will go on
whole
to have its
like
own
a
story to
12-inch
tell.
pizza.
At the time, I was on Gehennas in EU, which was without a doubt one of the most try-hard servers on the region. We had a lot of the big guilds who had played alternative servers in the past.
That's
shall
what I'm
we
talking
say,
about,
and were
dude.
more than just prepared for
Red
the day
Baron's
to
pretty
come
good.
when the war effort would begin. The Alliance finished the contribution in a matter of days. The Horde side contributed to the war effort by, well, not really doing anything. It wasn't like the Horde was a low population on the server at the time either, they just didn't turn in their items. Why was that? Well, it could have been a number of reasons. They didn't want to feel as though they were helping the Alliance by completing the war effort. Maybe it was to get back at big guilds on the opposite faction who they knew they could hold back where they couldn't beat them in open world PvP. Or maybe it was just to buy some more time.
Maybe
And
they were
sometimes you did
gonna
need
turn
extra
everything
time,
in. Dude, what
because
kind of
whilst
breakfast
your faction
casserole is
might
it? The
be
one where it's
done,
like bread at the
some
bottom
guilds
and then
still
it's got
might be
eggs and
working on your
sausage? That's
scepter
pretty
or
good.
scepters.
Pork
And it was
sausage has
like
been
a
giving me
game
the
of
fucking
chicken,
worst
because
heartburn
after
of
the
my
goal
life
is
lately,
rung,
though.
everyone with a scepter needs to go bang it as well in order to be eligible to get the mount reward.
Like the last few
If you
times I've
miss
had
this
biscuits and
10-hour
gravy,
time in
it gave me
window,
heartburn so bad I
that is
threw up.
unfortunate because now you have a scepter in your bank to look at with zero opportunity.
I need to see a
ever
doctor and get
redeem
some
it.
heartburn
And
pills.
no, you couldn't just transfer to another server and ring their gong instead. Blizzard put a hefty 90-day restriction on any gong banging after you transferred, which was a good bit of foresight there. Imagine
Fucking
having
look at
someone
this.
come out of the blue, ring your gong, AFK for 3 months, and
Look
then
how many
transfer
times I
back.
ate.
This very much made it into a race and a test of
This is
trust
the other side.
between both factions. Remember, in the game, this was a collaborative server-wide event. Is someone going to jump the gun and ring the gong early? Or
There's
can we
200
hold
in
off
here, there's
until
probably
everyone
30 or
assigned to
40
get one
left.
is done. This meant the easiest way to ensure no one
Pork
did
sausage
bang
is
it
the best
early was just
sausage.
to sit
Like,
on what
nothing's
effort
even
supplies
close.
for as long as
Chicken's
you needed to,
nasty,
and a lot of
fucking
people did that,
turkey
which would, of
sausage
course,
is
in
gross.
turn make people rather mad because they wanted to do the raid. So they would
Yeah, I
organise
need to.
raids
I
themselves
I just
go
need to
gang
go to the
people
doctor
farming
and
for
tell
the
them that I
scepter.
have
They
it,
would
and then
raid
they'll
their
give me
events, or even use
a
spam
prescription
report
for
feature to
for heartburn
trigger
pills.
bans. It didn't exactly help people finish their scepter any
I've been
faster. In
taking
fact, it did
some
the
over-the-counter
complete
ones, but I
opposite.
think we're almost out of
Hey,
those.
I guess it got back at them for not playing the game in the way that other people wanted. How dare you not be handing in your peace bloom? Do it now. So that is the war effort, and in some ways, that was the easy bit. Now we need a scepter of the shifting sands. Picture this.
See, he
quest for a
reused
moment.
this B-roll.
It must be done to unlock the new raid. It's near impossible to solo.
that even
and
an
requires
NPC?
A lot of help for a lot of gold. Each server creates its own time gating for the quest, and it offers rewards only literally a handful of people would see. Everyone wanted to do it. 99.9% of people wouldn't even
You
get
see
past the
Malfurion
first
in
part
there?
of the quest. There's been many server-wide events in the past. The Isle of Quel'Danas progress depended on server-wide dailies done. Many pre-patch events such as Legion or Dragonflight brought people together.
I still
None
haven't
of them
done
were
one
even
Quel'Danas
close to the
daily.
levels of insanity that the Scepter of the Shifting Sands required. Back in original vanilla, the player Galahad from US realm Medivh was the first reported Scarab Lord and the first person to ring the gong. On Blizzard's official 1.9 patch trailer, players from that realm were also accredited with this achievement. What's truly remarkable is that given the efforts players had to go through, and considering the patch launch was on January 2nd, 2006, is that the first gong
See, like
was
this
rung
shot
some
right
20
here,
days
he's
later,
reusing the
on
footage
January
to
22nd, on the
to
previously
stretch
mentioned realm
to
Medivh,
fit, but
World
it
Second
it
was
gets blurry,
reported
so
to
he
US
also
realm
has
Manoroth
the
on January
the lower
27th,
resolution
and World Third from
or
European
the lower
realm Belfast on
video
January
size
30th. 20 days from
in the
zero
middle of the
knowledge
screen.
of the event
It's like,
to
why do you do that?
completion, that would be pretty
But
decent time
he's
by
getting
today's
work from
standards,
Blizzard,
but
so it's
nowhere
apparently
near
right.
fast. Of course, today in Classic, players knew exactly what they
800,000
needed
linen
down to the last
bandages?
peace bloom. They had summoning networks set
I
up
could
in
do that.
advance to get their Scarab
600,000
around the
silk
world,
bandages?
and truces and
I could do that.
cross-faction pacts were established in anticipation of the event. If you didn't already know you were a Scarab Lord 6 months before the event happened, you just weren't going to be one. Where in Vanilla, a server may have seen 2 or maybe 3 Scarab Lords, in Classic, well, things were different. We had layering for a start. This meant that several different versions of Silithus coexisted alongside each other, which is vital for farming reputation, as we will soon see. Some servers' factions coexisted and farmed well alongside one another. US realm Fairbanks reported out of 55 people that signed up to go for Scarab Lord, 49 of them were successful. But the realm with the most Scarab Lords by far and away was the Russian server Splendor, which reported an immense 90.
The numbers I
Scarab
deal
Lords
with in
completed
WoW
in
stuff
total.
is
Not
is
quite as rare of
ridiculous.
an achievement
When I
as it
tell
used to
people
be.
that I'm
This
like
was the
10% of the server's
completion run
economy when I
vanilla
do
took
it,
20 days.
they're
In Classic,
like,
in
I don't
US
know what
realm
that means.
Sulfuras, the
I'm like,
entire war
10%
effort
of
in
the
Scepter
in-game
were
economy
completed
is
in a
me.
staggering 14 hours. That's some 3.8 million items handed in between both factions, and the
I'll regulate
entire
the
Scepter
prices.
quest line done within that space of time. Players would have had mailboxes with thousands of pages of items waiting for them in this remarkable feat of preparation. This was done primarily by members of the guild Grizzly, though this won't be the last we will hear of them during this event. Now, I'm not going to cover
Stay Safe
every
used to being
single
Grizzly
part of
on
the
private
Scepter
servers.
quest, because
They
there's
are
32 in total,
are
but in
racist and
essence,
Nazis,
there's
apparently.
a reputation farm portion of the quest, and then you need to go and find 3 Scepter shards that are held by the green,
No offense to Grizzly
red,
members.
and blue dragonflies. First, we should
That's
do a
just
rat farm. This is kind of the filter
That's what
quest.
reputation
It
your
was
guild
like
has,
saying,
so.
if you can't do this, just don't bother with the rest of it. What you needed to do was go from hated to neutral with the brood of Nozdormu, and there's actually a cool reason you start at hated too. Being a bronze dragon, Nozdormu saw the future and knew you only pre-ordered the base edition of Dragonflight instead of the epic one, and that made him rather mad. Anyways, hated to neutral is 42k rep, same as neutral to exalted actually, and there was one repeatable
Maybe
way
it's
to gain
just a
reputation,
particular
and that was to
type of
complete the
person, you know,
quest, the
that
Path
is
of
willing
the
to play on the
Righteous.
private
This had you
server.
hand in 200 Silithid carapace fragments in exchange for 500 reputation. Though we're talking 84.
Yeah, dude,
and each
Nozdormu!
total, which doesn't
How dare
sound too
you!
bad, does it? Well, that's until you realise 84 hand-ins means you are required to farm 16,800 Silithid carapace fragments. However, each completion of the quest,
Like,
meant
how
you
many
received an
fragments
item
does each
which would allow
Silithid
allies
drop?
to also collect these
Like
fragments,
one?
so the more
Or is
people
it-
you
is
have
it
working
0 to 1?
alongside you, the faster you can get one person to neutral, and you really could only work on one person at a time, as in there would be potentially dozens of people that would be farming bugs in small groups spread out across Silithus, then go and trade those fragments to the dedicated player who would then hand them in for the reputation. So I've mentioned these Silithid carapace fragments a few times now. What's up with them? I mean, it's simple enough. There's 3 hives located across Silithus. They're full of elite bugs. You go kill them, you go loot them, you get the fragments. The elites can drop up to 4. 13 to 16,800 fragments gets to progress on the next part of the quest. Now this grind in of itself was pretty lengthy, but could be done in a day or two with enough dedication and help. But that wasn't necessarily what made it difficult. What made it hard was the fact that each person who wanted to create a scepter
These are the
needed
wrong
16,800 fragments, and each person would have teams fighting over bug spawns. And in Classic, we have this a little thing called PvP servers, where if you wanted to put
What
a
do
group
they call
together
it?
and just
Fragment?
gank endlessly, well, you could. This is where the preparation work that people had agreed on before the event began to show, and it was also where it became clear who had got in with the right crowd and who was going to be pushed out of being able to farm enough fragments. And unlike original vanilla, so much of the politics were not handled in-game. The advent of Discord allowed players cross-faction to quickly and efficiently communicate between one another. Which guilds are allowed to farm? Which hive will they occupy? How
Silithid
long are they
carapace
expected to be
fragment.
there? And which players and or guilds do we not like? Who do we need to watch out for and make sure they can't farm or disrupt other guilds? At this point, the notions of in-game factions were no longer important for the farm. There were those whose names were on the nicer list and those who were on the naughty list, and that was kind of it. Cross-faction collusion was more
Okay,
rampant
so it
during
is-
Starboard
it is like
farm
0
days
to
than it
1.
ever has been since, and people
'Cause
were
it's
not
76%
happy
drop
about it.
chance
How can
for
your
the
own
highest-
faction sit
the
by
highest
and watch
one.
as your chain mind controlled or polymorphed, which in Classic could last over 30 seconds by the way, because good old Classic class balancing. It was unacceptable and against the spirit of the game, some would say. There was even an old terms of service page dug up where it said in blue, clear as day, that it was against the rules to communicate directly with players who are playing characters aligned with
Yeah,
the
this is-
opposite
this is,
faction. And it
well
wasn't
known to
an
me.
uncommon sight to see everyone just running past one another. The goal in mind was farming fragments, not PvPing. Though I will say the areas between
1 to 4?
the hives were like running across
Yeah,
a
it's at
minefield.
least
The
0
amount of players
to
bloodthirsty
0 to
for some
none.
world PvP action
Most
were
of the time,
massive,
so.
and any stragglers would be quickly dispatched. In the end, Blizzard.
I keep thinking the video's
yeah,
frozen,
actually,
but
they
it's
just
just going
didn't
to
do anything
pictures.
about it. Players colluded between factions.
I
while
hate
players
this
made their
video.
goals, and all was harmonious on Azeroth, or as long as it had to be during the reputation farming, because that was only the beginning of the journey to obtain a scepter. The next
So
part was the
16,000
relations breakdown on many
requires
servers,
at
as
least
previously
16,000
established
scarabs.
truces had outlived their usefulness,
So,
and it only took a few people to bring a whole event to
I
a
wonder
standstill.
if people
On
weren't
to the
griefing
shards
how many
then. So
scarab
the red
lords
and
you
blue
could get.
shards weren't actually too bad to get. The red was by far the easiest. You just do a
Like
run
on
of
a-
that
on a
under
100 to
5
0
hours,
server or
that's
something?
Literally it. Yeah, not exactly much of a tall order there. The blue had a huge quest line within the quest attached to it, where you had to use a magical fishing bait to attract a shark-like creature called the Wrath of Neptulon. This quest featured defeating open world bosses, invading
That
opposite
looks like a
faction
shark,
capital,
not a
and was
shark-like
the source of
creature.
World of Warcraft's only epic cooking recipe, Dirge's Kickin' Chimmerock Chops. It also rewarded the Band of Icy Depths which is the highest value vendor item.
Why did
in
he
the
say
game.
Chimerack?
Very cool. The problem in many cases was the green shard. There were several issues with this part of the quest.
Isn't it
Not only did
chimeric?
it involve trying to
Chimeric
defeat a
chops?
boss in the open world that needed a raid to be done, meaning the opposite faction could come and try to AoE you down whilst you were in combat. Your own faction could also grief you too. An NPC required for the quest, Keeper Remulos, was part of the Cenarian Circle, a faction which if you wanted, you could toggle as at war with, meaning at any point during the quest, he could get tagged and pulled out of the quest zone, causing it to reset. Or when you were trying to hand the quest in, you could tag him
Hell
and
yeah,
just
dude.
run him around in
Fuck the
circles
Cenarian
for hours,
Circle.
and you had to get somebody
Those
from the
tree
opposite
fuckers.
faction to come and stop
Ew.
this from happening. Things
Ew.
got so bad with griefing on this step of the quest, Blizzard eventually had to step in and make some changes to prevent certain underhand tactics that players were coming up with. But you could also grief for this quest at another point, and this would set the stage for arguably the best storyline from this event, and you couldn't have scripted something better than this. So, as another part of the Green Shard quest, you had to go defeat a Twilight Corruptor in Duskwood. This required a decent sized raid, and it was an open world boss, meaning it's extremely easy to grief.
That looks like a
against.
Crusader.
On
Why
the
is
West
it an
Server
open world
Silverus,
boss?
relations had
How
grown
strong
poor
is he?
between factions and guilds that had colluded efforts to farm materials and to grind fragments in Silithus. Alliance Guild Grizzly, remember them? First to complete war effort in only 14 hours, had started to cause problems on the Green Shard part of the quest, holding down the world boss area in Duskwood and preventing any other guilds from being able to advance. Eventually, some reported 200 Horde players combined together and pushed them out of the zone, aiming to score a quick kill on the Twilight Corruptor and advance the quest chain. However, the moment the Horde moved in to pull, the player running for the Scarab Lord on their side received a ban. It came out of nowhere, but almost immediately everyone knew that something was wrong. It appeared as though members of the Alliance had all falsely reported this player at the same time, causing some kind of automated response, and for him to
Auto
receive
ban
a
is so
suspension
fucked up.
the moment it
You
looked
should
like
never
they were
be able
finally
to sever
able
someone's
kill the
connection
boss.
to
Soon
a
after,
to a
post
paid
went up
service
on the
without
Classic WoW subreddit,
real
gaining
human
a huge
interaction.
amount of interest for the Sulfurus drama. Not long after, Blizzard replied,
Like if
saying,
somebody's
"After reviewing
whispering
the
somebody
terms
and
of
being like,
questing, we can confirm
KYS,
that things did
N-word,
not happen as a
F-word,
result
you know?
of abuse of the
Like,
reporting system.
chat
While
ban them,
investigating
sure.
the accounts involved,
But
we
don't
did discover
sever their
evidence of
connection
some
to the
players who were
server.
attempting to
Like,
file false reports with bad intent and have actioned those accounts
That-
for abuse of
that's
the
what-
system.
that's
which
how
to
I
this
feel
day,
about
I
that.
still don't understand what it's supposed to say. So they weren't abusing the report system, they were just filing false reports. I don't know, sounds like abusing the report system to me. Anyways, the prospective Scarab Lord
But,
was
like,
banned not long after.
now
meaning they
there's
got to
the-
continue progressing the quest line. A shared Discord conversation
the
between
fucking, what's
Horde
it called,
Guild
social
Amnesty
contract
and an ally
in
called
WoW, so
Grizzly said it all.
you-
The Horde will
you agree that
retaliate.
you
I know
won't
how this
do
ends.
stuff like this when you
You
come
do
in,
too.
so there should be
And the retaliation
counter action
was
if
swift.
you like
Soon
auto
after, the
ban
gong
someone or
sounded
something.
in the deserts of Silithus on Sulfurus for the first
That you
time,
put in a
starting the
you put in
10-hour war, and more
an appeal,
importantly,
and it
a
turns
timer.
out that like a whole
Anyone who had
guild
the scepter
reported
had
you
to
in
ban the
Alterac
gong
Valley or
if they
something.
wanted their mount and
They
local
should
their
all get
title.
banned
However,
for
some
a
of the
month.
players on the Alliance were yet to
Whatever
turn
the
in
punishment
all
was
three
going to
shards
be
at
for you should be
Tamakonos
applied to
and
everyone
Tanaris. This
who falsely
had to be
accused you.
done to actually get the scepter to complete the quest. And if you remember how this quest line started off, you did a reputation grind from hated to neutral, which meant for the vast majority of the server, this dragon is
If you think
hostile.
about it with
What
night
can you do
elves,
with hostile
like,
units?
how long
You
does
can
it take
keep
them to
in
reach
combat
maturity? They're
forever,
like
so
100,
they
right?
cannot be interacted
So like,
with.
if
This
somebody
was
was
the Hord's revenge
was
for the
just
report
barely
ban.
turning mature
Some
when
1,000
another night elf
Horde
was
players
born,
flooded the zone of Tanaris,
like they're
leading
100
down the
years
choke into
separate,
the valley where Anachronos
and they might
resided,
be
and
the
kept in
closest
combat
age
for
group.
10 hours straight. Despite the Alliance numbering in the hundreds, they
interesting.
never broke through. And though the
WoW
10-hour
dwarfs
war
live for, like,
raged
hundreds
in
of years
Silithus
too,
and
right?
US realm Sulfurus, it was fought in Tanaris, and it was a victory for the Horde. And that is how the guild that contributed the most towards the world first war event missed out on many Scarab Lord mounts and titles. Then again, should the Horde and Alliance ever have worked together in the first place to farm fragments in Silithus? What about the players who hadn't done anything wrong and just needed to hand in during the 10-hour war? Did they deserve to lose their mounts too? You just don't get this in other games, do you? Each and every server will have their own story around the war effort, their own drama, the betrayals, the politics. Classic was certainly rough around the edges, but did
Fairlina
ever
was
create
nasty
stories
in
and characters?
Silithus.
It's reasons like this why we can look back and realize this game is
You got a
nearly
dying
20
curse? Hell
years
yeah.
old, and
That's a
people
pretty
keep
rare one.
coming back to it. And that is the story of the opening of Encourage in Classic WoW. Let me know how things went down on your server, and if you liked the video, drop a like. It helps out a bunch and it takes a moment. That's all from me though. As always, thank you all so much for
Dankirst
watching and listening
is
in.
spell
I'll see you on the
power
next one
random haste, right?
very soon.
Spell power all the time, random haste. I was gonna say I don't even remember if I saw one. I've never seen the gun in any of the content I've ever watched either. Nobody's ever gotten it. It's not real. Hidden spell power? Okay. That's really good then. I must be thinking of like Kiss of the Spider or something. What? Druid Truth. Turn back now. 3 years ago. I'll watch that.
Hey guys, what's up? So today is going to be a video that some of you don't really like, and others hopefully it really helps you out. So today's video is going to be on druids and why this is your final chance to turn back
Embrace of the
before
Spider.
classic launch. In all my videos, I always praise druids and say how good they are, and I truly believe that druids are one of the strongest classes when played right.
Is that
but
worse?
That is
worse.
pretty much the crux of the
Sit this
argument
way.
is when druids are played right, they can be extremely good. Druids are
I didn't know
a
this
very
guy made
hard
videos
class to
3 years ago.
master. I've been playing druids since Classic WoW. All through their iterations, throughout the other expansions. Druid has always been my main. And with all this time that I've spent playing druids, I still think that I could become a better druid player. I still mess up a lot when I'm PvPing, and the one thing about druids in Classic WoW is
How do you guys
they are
feel about,
very unforgiving when you make mistakes.
Absterge?
So
I
that
don't know
being
if I've
said,
heard
guys, let's just
Absterge
get right
before.
into the video, and I'm going to kind of cover the main reasons why I think druid is a class that the majority of players should avoid. So let's not get druids wrong. Druids are not good healers.
See if they sound the
we
same.
try some evoker. Guys, I changed my whole UI. You like
Yeah, they
it?
do sound the same.
In PvP or PvE. In PvP, you
I
run
thought the name
through
sounded familiar,
very
but
quickly
I don't
when
watch
you're
any
trying to pump
retail
out big
players.
Heals, and then your mana efficient heals are just not as strong as other healers. Most battleground groups will take a druid for their mobility and their cooldowns. They're going to use you to ninja nodes, defend nodes, and quickly transition from one base to another. You're there to provide backup when needed. In large team fights, you are going to be expected to peel for your healers, toss out some heals here and there.
How do you guys feel about Warsong Gulch jumps?
And
Are you
overall
in favor
just
of
do
them,
what your
or are
team
you
wants
opposed?
you to do. You fit into a group
I'm
in the way
opposed.
that the group leader wants you to. So
Part
if
of
the group invites you
The
to be a healer,
end
that's what
user
you're going to
license
do.
agreement for
If they
WoW
invite you to be a
says
defender,
that
that's what you're going to do.
while jumping
You
may
need
not
to
be against the
understand
terms
that
of
as a druid, you need to
service,
be on your
where
toes,
you
and
choose to
constantly
jump
changing
can be
around
against
your
the
group's
EULA.
composition. Like
And
I
when
said,
I try to
you have
explain that to people,
change
I'm like,
those cells
I'm like,
depending on your group.
you say that you
Being
won't
a good
jump up
PvE
walls,
healer won't
just the
help
same
you.
way as
So
like
if you
you're
know
not
your
supposed to
PvE
climb
rotation of heals,
walls in
that's not gonna
Stormwind
help
and
you
like
in
go to
large,
Old Ironforge and
PvP
stuff.
battles, even if
But
it's
they're
in
not gonna like ban
battleground
you
like
for it.
AV, which is
And then
predominantly PvE
Blizzard
focused,
did
you're
indicate
still going
intent
to
when
be
they
used
changed it
in
so that
key
you
roles
can't
such
get
as sitting bases,
yeah,
recapping,
if it's
or
like a
ninja
tournament for
bunkers
money or
with other
something,
stealthies.
both sides
Just
are gonna
because
do
you're
that.
spec'd into
But
a
like,
healing spec or
I'm
you're,
talking about Jerome would do it
wearing
for his
tier
full
1, tier 2,
7-hour
tier
stream.
3,
He'd be in Warsong
you're
Gulch
not
the whole
going to
time,
utilize
honor
as a healer most
capped,
of the
not
time.
needing anything,
You're going to
just
have to
like
perform
jumping
a
on top of the
specialized
building
role,
and sitting there for
which,
20
if you
minutes.
haven't
It's like,
learned those
stop being in
roles
Warsong
in a
Gulch. You're
PvE sense,
ruining it for
they
everyone.
can be very jarring for someone just coming into a PvP environment. In PvE, Resto Druid healing
But like,
is
there should
good,
also be a
but it's
time
not
limit
great.
on
Anyone
Warsong
who's
Gulch.
claiming
Like,
that they're top
WSG
leaders
should probably
means
be like
that your
8 to
other
12
healers
minutes
are
long.
not up to par,
There should never
and
be a
they're not
1 hour
putting out
one.
as much healing as they need to be doing. That would be, priests, shamans, and paladins. They should all be beating you on the meters.
I think all
And
BGs
then
should
also for
pretty much be
everyone out
under
there
15
saying,
minutes.
you
AV
know,
can be a
play
half
regrowth
hour.
spec healing. Well, the thing is, on Classic, the regrowth coefficient is
EOTS could
slightly
probably be
different
20
than it
minutes.
is on
EOTS
private
is
servers, so that probably will not be quite as strong.
I don't know. There's
These are
new
all
ones
things
in
that you just
Wrath,
have to
right? Like
understand.
the gate one
Will
is
you
there,
be a
where you
decent
like gotta
healer
set up
in
bombs and
PvE
drive the
encounters? Of
vehicles.
course. Can you
That's
heal
out.
5-mans? Yes.
I think that's probably the
most
hardest
optimal
BG.
for that
But
role?
besides that, it's
No,
probably
you're not. But
EOTs.
you will be taken to raids.
A lot of
and you
people
will,
don't
you know,
understand that you have to
you
hold
can
bases
perform
while
well,
capturing flags,
but you
while
just need to
defending
kind
in the
of
middle.
understand,
And it's like,
and
dude,
dial back
EOTs is
your
EOTs is poorly
expectations
designed.
For, you know, what you'll be doing in a raid. All right, now that we've
Yeah,
discussed
yeah,
the
dude, to remove
true
the
spec
one with the
of
gates.
druids, which is restoration, we will discuss feral and balance. Both of these specs are not.
So like there he is
top
doing
tier
these
specs.
jumps.
Don't let
I think he
anyone
just
convince
jumped
you
up there a way
otherwise.
that I've never seen before.
Do feral. Both of these specs.
Yeah, he jumped up the way I've never seen
are
before. I've
not,
only seen people go up the
you
chain.
know, top tier specs. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise.
But then they like run
do
on the
feral-
fence, and it's
or,
like
excuse me, can feral
it's like
have a
you-
place in a raid? Yes. Ferals
you understand
can be
that
decent,
you're breaking
when
the spirit
played
of the
right,
game by doing that,
or
right?
maximized to their
That's what I tried
potential
saying to
when they
Jerome, and he
farm
was like,
crowd
"Yeah, I
farmers and they
understand, and I'm
farmed
gonna
all their
keep doing it."
consumables.
That's when I stopped
they
watching
can
him.
be in, you know, top 10, 15 DPS in a raid. They're
Fucked
not going
up.
to beat your skilled warriors and rogues in DPS, and they're going to fall off as the phases continue, in my opinion.
I think this guy still makes
Now,
videos.
There are some
17,000
exceptions to the rule,
subscribers.
and there's obviously some ferals out there that will be in a raid group with other players that do not do all that they can do to improve, so they will shine above the rest. But that is just because other players.
Oh,
in
wait,
the
they're
group
taking
are
their
not
van
doing
out
the
places
work that
now,
they need to
I
do.
guess. That's pretty
now,
cool.
I know I'm taking a very harsh look at all of this, guys, and normally I'm very optimistic about druids, and when
They
someone
gave up
comes
at Wrath,
into,
it looks
you
like.
know, the comment section on my YouTube, or they ask
2
me
months
when I'm
ago,
live streaming what I feel
Pre-patch
about
Red
these
70
different
clips.
specs,
And there's
I
no
normally
Wrath
say
videos.
pretty positive things, because I do think if you're set on playing a feral druid in
A lot of
you know,
people don't like
raiding
Wrath, huh?
environment, I think you can do that, and I
But,
think
like,
you can do that well.
Only the people
and
that
will
really
definitely
liked
be
the
an
old
asset to
stuff.
your group and your raid.
I think if
But
they do
I'm just
Classic
trying to put
Plus,
it
they
into
really need to
perspective that you're not
change
some,
item
you know,
scaling,
amazing,
because like
you know,
every
cat
single weapon
DPS
that I
hero.
used,
You
no
just
matter
need to
what,
know,
all of the proc weapons
know
when I
where
was
you
farming
lie
on
within
Paladin,
the greater
it took me
picture
about
of
5 hours to
WoW,
do 1,000,000 damage.
You know, as a whole. That being said,
And I was trying to do 1,000,000
PvP
damage with all
is
of the
much
proc
different
weapons
than
so that I
feral
could
in
see how much the
PvE.
proc
If you
was.
try and take your feral DPS gear that you have in PvE and you try and take
What
your,
they should probably do is
full
take the
feral
class
and
balance from Wrath
entirely
and apply it
build
directly
and go out
to
in PvP, you are
post
going
next
to be
content.
very disappointed with what you can do.
Release like the
You
Scarlet
almost have
expansion,
to be
finish
a
fleshing out
hybrid feral
the
build, you know, something like Heart of the Wild NS to be of any use in
Ashbringer
PvP
questline.
encounters. You're going to be having to swap out a lot of your DPS gear for gear that has intellect on it. Some more hybrid pieces, obviously. If you run out of mana, you are effectively useless. In cat form, you don't have enough CC or ways to lock down opponents, so that you will have to find yourself leaving cat form very quickly into a fight. With all that being said, you play a druid much differently if you're feral in a PvP environment versus a PvE environment. Alright, now let's talk about balanced druids.
Sorry about that. I had
Balanced
to
druids in
get some
raiding,
things.
in
I had to grab my
opinion,
phone from
is
Cheryl's side
never-
and get the Benjamin.
Never worth it. I understand the meme of putting a balanced druid with your mages. However, if you just had 5 mages in that group instead of a balanced druid, I feel like that would be more useful. That being said, if you are going to take a balanced druid if you're going to take a balanced druid with you to a raid, you need to understand what you're going to be doing as a balanced druid.
Oh, dude,
Most
chicken and
fights you'll
dumplings is
probably
probably
be
my favorite
used
food.
as a healer. In
Get like
fights
the
that
right
you
size of carrot
are
coins in there.
expected
I
to
don't like
DPS, don't expect
shredded
your
carrots.
DPS to be extremely high. There's tons of people out there that say, you know, balanced DPS is not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad in a controlled environment on a test server where you can spawn yourself all the great gear. But the reality of it is, unless you're in a, you know, suboptimal guild that's just giving out loot willy-nilly, you should never have priority over some of these really, really good pieces of gear. Those should always be going to your casters that are pumping out more damage, things like warlocks and mages.
I think having a fully geared
Balanced
boomkin
druid
and
should be
ret
basically
in
at the
Classic
very
is
end
like
of the game,
having a
getting
show dog.
geared up, much like
It's like, yes, I
an
understand that it's a
enhancement
waste of the
showdown.
items to
You're
give
not on
full
priority
bis
for
to a
loot,
ret,
and that
but,
means that you're going to lag behind in
you know,
gear.
what
Yes,
if
you'll
you
be
and
getting
another
all
guild
of
want to
your
have your
two
rets fight
pieces
each
for
other?
Druid, and you'll be using those when you're healing in encounters, but at that point it's like, why aren't you just playing a Restoration Druid? And that being said, even if you were to get lucky and, you know, get all those really, really good cloth
That would be
pieces
cool.
for, that have
Server-wide
great star power and crit on them,
moonkin, server-wide
trying to use that
moonkin
stuff
and ret
in
invitational.
World PvP or in Battlegrounds, you're extremely squishy as you're not wearing leather pieces, and you'll be targeted very quickly because everyone knows how squishy balanced druids are. So as soon as someone notices that you're a balanced druid, everyone's going to just be killing you all the time. In PvP, balance is much like feral. Balance can be very
I think
strong
wheelchair
in
means that it's like
PvP
easy and
situations.
slow.
However, you will not be playing a full balanced druid spec. You will not be playing in Moonkin form.
Yeah,
You'll be
like they're
playing
getting pushed through
hybrid
the
spec,
content. That's how I
along with
interpret
something
it.
Where you pick up NS from
That's why I have this wheelchairs,
Restoration
because
tree,
for the paladin
and
main.
like I said, you're never going to be playing full balance. If you do, you're severely handicapping yourself. Could it be like a class?
I'll be right back. I
fantasy?
gotta go blow my nose. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, brain dead. So weak it has to be in a wheelchair. Yeah, exactly.
Thing or something that you really want to do, of course, go for it. That being said, it's not going to be
Floor
nearly as
POV.
good as any other kind of caster DPS, and you just need to understand that when you're going into it. So now we've covered all the specs in PvP and PvE and why they're lacking. Guys, I'm not holding back on this video. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to tell you all the shortcomings of Druid. I really want to get that on
It's
the
interesting.
table. So, you know, a month
206,000
someone
views
comes
on
to me
this.
and says, you know, you praise Druid so much that you convinced me to roll one. I can, you know, tell them about this video and that they should.
What's in here?
So there's no chance at all? Oh, okay. Well, do you know anyone else that might have... Oh, you gotta go? Oh, okay, I'll let you go then. Alright, bye, bye, thanks, bye. So? No, can't get any. Why not? You said this guy will always sell you the good stuff. Well, yeah, that's what my brother said since it's his contact, but apparently this guy's in prison. What? The guy who I was on the phone with? My brother's dealer? Yeah? Yeah, he's currently in prison. How did you manage to contact him if he's in prison? I don't know, I just rang the number, he picked up, and I don't know, I guess he just snuck a phone in. And you rang from your phone? Yeah. Oh my... What is wrong with you? What's wrong with that? Do you realize the police can track you? Oh. Give me your phone. Why? Just give me your phone! Why'd you do that for? So they won't be able to track you. You didn't have to break my phone. Yeah, I did. It's for your own good. You're such a flop. Oh my god, would you rather break your phone or have some 6'8" tatted up prison dude have his way with you for the next 10 years? That's what I thought. Now, back to the weed situation. If we go empty-handed to this party, we're gonna look like a bunch of dweebs, so think where we can get some. I don't know, my brother only gave me the contact of one dude who happens to be in prison.
This is pretty funny. No, that guy doesn't have any weed. That guy doesn't have any weed for sure. That guy smokes the cheapest tobacco you can get.
Come on, look at him. That is very stereotypical of you. Oh, come on, don't tell me you're not thinking the same way.
Every time I've ever tried to approach someone based on if they look like they have weed or not, they don't.
Because that's outstanding. Like, wow. Come on, we just go ask him.
He does smoke American spirits. He smokes the light ones. Ja.
Wagwan, me brethren. Yeah, look, sorry to interrupt your vibe here, but me and my mate, we're looking for some of that. You know, you got to be more specific than that. Weed. You after some of them herbs, eh? Yeah. And you think because I'm Jamaican, we got some of them greens, yeah? Oh no, I didn't mean it like that. Bumbaclat, you should be ashamed of yourselves. I told you, you idiots. Oh, I'm so sorry. Me only joking with yous. Of course, we got some of them greens you after. Oh, he's joking. You got me good, yeah. Don't you worry about the thing, blood. I take good care of yous. They call me the pharmacist for a reason because I got that Jamaican homegrown to make you ease in the frost.
I don't like people's homegrown.
But we'll take some of that Jamaican good stuff. All right, how much are you after?
Kilo, dude.
What you reckon? I don't know. Just get one weed, I guess.
One weed.
Okay.
A gram, please.
We'll take
No.
one weed, one ganja. That's $20. 20? Yeah, man. Sweet. Okay. We're going hard, yeah? Yeah. All right. Can you cover for me, and I promise I'll pay you back. Are you serious? Look, I'll definitely pay you back. I just don't have any cash on me. Who brings no cash to a fucking deal? Come on, bro, please. We've gotten this far, and he's waiting. Break my phone, and now I have to cover for you, eh? There you go, bro. Appreciate that. All right. Jamaican medicine to make your body feel airy, you know? There you go, me brethren. Cheers. Is it your first time getting high? No. Not after so much ganja. Alright. Well, me brethren, me gots to hit the road, so bless yas, little more, me gone. Peace. Thanks, bro. Laters, bro. Thanks for the Jamaican stuff.
I like his shirt.
How do we actually smoke this? I don't know. Mr. Jamaican guy?
That was pretty funny. What the fuck? History of the Hungarian Republic?
Yes, this is actually happening. FTC seeks
I thought
to
this would
block
happen.
Microsoft Corporation's acquisition
Microsoft can't
of
be
Activision
too big.
Blizzard. So they're getting cucked. They won't. I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not. Alleging that the $69 billion deal, Microsoft largest ever in the video game industry, would enable Microsoft to suppress competitors to its Xbox gaming consoles and its rapidly growing subscription content from cloud gaming business. I don't understand how you can say this, but think that it's okay that having the Google Play Store and the Apple Play Store for all smartphones that are being used with like 95% of the audience of people that use smartphones, this is somehow also not non-competitive. Like, how is it that these two companies can have a massive monopoly and completely control what people use on their smartphones that everybody uses, but somehow the FTC doesn't even fucking see this? Is it because everybody that works there uses flip phones? Like, what the fuck? How do you not see this?
The FTC probably uses Kyocera's, not even flip phones.
Especially Apple.
If I had to
hate
guess.
That complaint issued today, FTC pointed to Microsoft's record of acquiring and using valuable gaming content
to suppress competition from rival consoles, including its acquisition of ZeniMax, parent company of Bethesda Softworks. But isn't Elder Scrolls? I mean, Skyrim is released on every console, though. Like, I mean, it's not like this is some sort of like unique advantage versus Xbox, right? That it gives Xbox, because Skyrim's getting released on everything. Also, like Microsoft.
Isn't
said
ESO
that they're
only
not
available
going
on
to make
Xbox
Call of
and
Duty,
PC?
Xbox specific. They shouldn't. It would be bad for the game.
And Final Fantasy
Microsoft
is
already
PC
has
and
shown that it can and will withhold
PlayStation
content
only?
from its gaming rivals. Microsoft decided to make several of Bethesda's titles, including Starfield and Redfall, Microsoft exclusives, despite assurances that it had given the European antitrust agencies that it had no incentive to withhold games from rival consoles. You know what my opinion on this is? I think that the idea, like, because every single one of these games is playable on PC. I don't like how consoles are still dictating
ESO looks
like,
pretty
how
good.
and why games are made.
I've never tried it
I
yet,
think that
but I
it's a
plan
dead
to
medium.
eventually.
Like, a lot of people now, like, gaming PCs, the barrier to entry for gaming PCs is much lower now. It's 1,000 times easier to get a gaming PC now than it was before. Having a personal computer now versus, like, in 1990 is, like, infinitely more common. Everybody has them. Nobody had them then. I hate this idea that, like, we have to change, like, the FTC is trying to regulate a market that should have died. It's so fucking annoying that we're having regulations on a market just to keep it on life support. It's just, I fucking hate this. It is, like, completely antithetical to, like, any sort. This is the worst kind of regulation, is whenever the fucking government regulates something to make something that should be gone still relevant because there are people whose jobs that are involved with it. The world changes, life moves on, and if you either adapt to something or you don't. You should not have to hold the entire world hostage because your job is no longer relevant. It's so fucking annoying. The coal mine, yeah, like I don't want to have people go back into the coal mines. Okay, like let's move on from this. It's so annoying, man. More people playing games on console than PC. Yes, but I think probably the number is increasing to PC, and I think
consoles are
And
an
also,
interesting
how many people
market
will be playing on
space.
PC?
Let's pause this. Let's stick with the meta. So when somebody plays a console, they're essentially getting a PlayStation, or they're getting a computer that only does games of that variety, unless you like jailbreak it or whatever. But like, if you get an Xbox, you can play Xbox games. If your grandma gives you a PlayStation game, you're sad, and you can't tell her, but you have to wait until she's gone and then return it to the store or whatever. And hope your parents ask for a gift receipt. You know, ruin the magic for Christmas. But like, if you have a PC, it's like free and open to all of the sources. Like, I can play GameCube on my PC. I'm not legally allowed to, but I can. It's possible. Yeah, dude. Everybody's grandma gets them raving rabbits, you know? You ever heard that story? They said you'd like it at the GameStop. It's like, you paid full price for raving rabbits?
If all of the console games were not console exclusive in a lot of cases, like the things like God of War, the new one.
Exactly, like the temporary exclusivities. It's like I've got Tiny Tina on Epic, and I haven't really gotten too deep into it yet because I just don't ever open Epic. Like, ever. I hate the Epic launcher. If you think about, like, as a parent giving something to your child, I would probably give them a console instead of a PC. I would give them the dumbest console that can't get on the internet for sure. Dumb as in not a smart device. I don't want any apps. I don't want them watching Netflix. I don't want them on YouTube. Basically anything I was allowed to do as a child, none of it. I think, let's go back to the politics for a second. I think that companies should be controlled by the government and there should be planned obsolescence still. But, like, if you have an iPhone and you've had it for 2 years. It's slowing down and the parts are irrelevant and whatever. So you give it to them, they disassemble it, completely recycle everything 100% as much as possible, and remake it into the next iPhone. But like, you're not getting your parts back. Somebody else is getting your parts. You're getting someone else's parts, as like the iPhone 10 to the iPhone 11, or like the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One. So you hand in your Xbox and they give you the upgraded one. That's how I feel it should work, but not everybody can have everything. There's not enough material for some reason. Even though we've been mining for all of human history, we don't have enough stuff. Everybody's got a drawer full of batteries, but we don't have any lithium. It's like the Terratech thing, you know. Sometimes you got to break down a radar because you need one oil. You know, it's like you can break down a block for 8, 24, 64, or 240, whatever oil are the different varying sizes. Or you can break down an item and get one. So when you're batch crafting, like if you want to make 24 guns, you pick the 24 block of oil and you break it down. If you want to make 200, you pick that size. It's much better how it should be. Like, you shouldn't be able to go to a mom and pop store and pay a different price than at a different store. I think everyone everywhere should have access to the same things. We don't need 6 types of cornflakes that are all made in the same factory. It's the illusion of choice, and I'm not fooled. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you gotta wreck your truck to pay the insurance, you know? Sometimes you total your vehicle and you keep driving it. It's like, the fender's fucked up, but your car's worth $1,000 and the fender costs $1,200. They're just gonna write you a check for $1,000. They're not gonna pay for a new bumper on your shitmobile. Like, imagine if instead of competition, which does breed innovation and stuff, but it's a much slower pace than if all of the companies banded together and they had access to the same scientists. And imagine if people didn't have to do things for money, you know? Like, imagine money's out of the equation and you can go to school for whatever you want, and you're like, I'm actually a 15th year gender studies major. Every year we get new access to new additions to the curriculum, right? And it's like, okay, cool, you do that. You be the expert. We'll call you up when Supreme Court wants to talk about what is a woman or whatever. But I think that opportunity should be available to people without them not having employment opportunities. Like, if you want to be a welder, I think they should pay you to learn how to be a welder by having you weld things that are not that important. Yeah, exactly, dude. 18-year Warcraft veteran here talking, making fun of gender studies. At least their thing is real. I don't know. Some of that stuff's important. Like, you need people to ask questions that don't really have an answer. And then the collective conscious spends 10 years thinking about it. And they come up with an answer.
So yeah, I don't think that's entirely true. And I think that for the cases that it is true, it's probably not the only reason why it is true. It's easier to get a console? Yes, and it is becoming easier comparatively to get a computer. Eventually that will shift. So we'll see what happens. Happens all the time with large companies. It's just...
That's funny. That's funny that he says that, because he owns a computer company where they make it incredibly easy to spend too much on a pre-built PC. But they're out of stock.
Possible monopoly? I don't know. I mean, like, they didn't block Disney acquiring Marvel. They didn't block you know, they didn't block. Didn't Disney also acquire Lucasfilms? It's so weird to me. Like, how do you draw the line here?
You draw the line at market share.
Sony bought Bungie recently. Yeah, but Bungie is a lot smaller than Activision Blizzard. Let's be honest. Bungie has one big title. It's fucking Destiny. Like Microsoft, like not Microsoft, Xbox. Fuck. Blizzard, Activision has like 5 big titles. Halo?
Blizzard has more than 5 titles. They have World of Warcraft, they have World of Warcraft Classic, they have Call of Duty, they have Call of Duty Mobile, they have Call of Duty Warzone, they have Candy Crush, and that's the only game that I know by King. I think they have several popular mobile games. I think all of those Call of Duties are different launchers, right? I don't think they're menu options in the same game. I think they're different downloads. Yeah, exactly. WoW, COD, all the spin-offs. Like, how many Call of Duties are active at a time, like, that they still have the multiplayer servers up? Like, probably 8 or 9? Yeah, they have both StarCrafts, they have 3 Diablos, 4 Diablos. Diablo 1, 2, and 3 all have a passionate community. It's not big, but there are people who stream Diablo 2 to a large audience, like 1,000 plus. And like 1,000 plus is enough to be successful. It's not getting by. It's successful. 100 is getting by. 1,000 is successful. But everybody's like, oh, they only have World of Warcraft, and it's like World of Warcraft is like 3 games. They even have Hearthstone. I forgot about Hearthstone. They should make a Diablo card game. They should make a StarCraft card game. Like, literally just reskin it, just change the picture and the name. I'd play a StarCraft card game. That sounds pretty sick. I think the art would look beautiful on that. Like, the futuristic stuff. Yeah, Overwatch. I forgot about Overwatch. Overwatch 2 is one title, so there's not 2 Overwatches. But, it's popular. Heroes of the Storm. Heroes of the Storm. I've only known one guy that played Heroes of the Storm, and he quit it to play fucking Dota 2. And it's like, not better, dude. You should have quit it to play League. Crash Bandicoot's owned by Activision Blizzard King. Yeah, see? Look at that. How many games did we just come up with right now? Interesting. You think Dota's prize pools are bigger? Maybe, and also you are like comparatively a better player because there's less people. Let's get back in this.
Ooh, who's gonna tell him? Ooh, who's gonna tell him? Oh wow. Damn, bro. Ooh, that's a. Ooh.
Blizzard crowdfunded for a tournament, but they ended up raising enough money from crowdfunding that they withdrew their own support. They were like, we're gonna do 100,000, and you guys can do up to 100,000, or whatever the numbers were, and then the community raised enough, and Blizzard decided that they no longer needed to contribute. They were like, no, we'll just use the community money. Oh, Dota has like personal skin sales? Oh, Riot does? They have champion skins? Are they like wearing the jersey? Blizzard's bad. about a lot of stuff. It sucks because like I live in America and I like Blizzard stuff, so like everything that I like is terrible. Could you imagine if they did like community idea skins for Overwatch? People would be like, "Give me a Star Guardian of the gorilla."
Alright, let's move on. Activision, one of a very small number of top video game developers in the world, to create and publish high-quality video games for multiple devices that include video game consoles, and provides some of the most iconic and popular video game
Yeah,
titles.
dude, Star Guardian Winston.
Has millions
Can we
of
make the skirt
users.
any shorter?
And also, like, one thing that's very ironic about all these things is that they are all available on PC, and PCs are not something that Microsoft has a monopoly over. So this is like such a stupid thing for them to do. I hope that Microsoft is able to acquire them. I feel like this type of a block, or at least the argumentation they're providing for it right now. The only reason that it seems like they're even thinking about it is to keep consoles and like the console business on life support.
Distillate
which I
pens,
think
man.
is harmful to
They hurt my
players
throat.
and users,
But it
because
was
I
$20
think the
for
way
a
the consoles
gram
are
of oil,
designed,
and a gram of oil is
they
over
are- there are certain
$100
things
usually.
that are withheld from PC and other platforms because
Why
they
was it?
want to keep
When does it
their console
expire?
only to sell more copies of the console. I think this is a consumer unfriendly practice, and
it's
it's
expired
disappointing
is
to see the FTC reinforcing this consumer unfriendly practice by trying to make people have to buy multiple $500 pieces of shit.
I
So
thought it
that's what I
tasted
think.
funny.
I think it's fucking annoying.
What day did I buy this? I bought it on the
They're
2nd.
only
It
changing- they're
expired
only
on the
suing so they can
3rd.
get Microsoft to change something? Yeah, it could be. Did you watch the Canon interview with the Riot MMO director? No, I haven't, but I think I should. Maybe I'll watch that this week coming up. Yeah, I know. As I'm proving he knows nothing. So what do I not know? Mind game? I'm going to pull this up because we're going to see this right now. All right, so this is another individual, somebody that says I don't know anything. What do I not know? The PC is losing share in the last 2 years. PC is too expensive to run current titles. Yeah, what do I not know?
Sounds like he just told you what you don't know, Asman.
Let's find out.
He said it's losing market
Making
share.
console plebs mad. I think consoles are fine.
It's
but they
oil.
shouldn't be kept on life
The oil
support
can go
through,
rancid.
You know, like
But
exclusive titles.
it's good for longer
It's
than the
annoying,
expiration
it's bad
date.
for users.
But like, see how it's
Yeah,
kind
let's
of
get enlightened
brownish?
here.
It's supposed to be amber.
He's referring to ray tracing. He isn't wrong. We'll see. PC is too expensive, then provides.
But they're good for a couple of months after they expire. Like, you're not going to get sick.
Yeah, that's about right. But usually smartphones are amortized, like their value is amortized over the course of a contract.
It's just the
To
taste.
be fair. So let's see what this is. You don't need ray tracing. Yeah, the game doesn't need ray tracing. Let's see if we're gonna get.
Saying that you can turn down the graphics as an argument for why PC is better is not good. At least on a at least on a console, everybody gets the same experience.
They immediately have nothing to say because they don't know. I do know what I'm talking about. Obviously, I've played video games for fucking 30 years. Of course I know what I'm talking about. I would have never talked about it if I didn't know. Yeah, they go silent because they're fucking stupid. It's so annoying to see shit like this, man. It pisses me off so much. You're taking on consoles dying isn't valid at all. I think it absolutely is. I think that with gaming PCs and how much easier it is to buy a PC now versus 15 years ago, and how also much easier it is to have a gaming PC that can run current games, I do think that the barrier to entry for gaming on a PC is lower now than it was 15 years ago. Guaranteed.
15 years ago? I don't know. 15 years ago, a computer
that's all there is to
from
do
the
left,
store
if you did.
didn't need any upgrades to be able to play World of Warcraft. Now you have to do,
Probably
like,
did.
the
I
RAM
have
and
no
stuff.
idea. Gaming PCs are still expensive, still not $500 low. You're right, and that's where consoles really do come out ahead. Now, obviously, I think that a lot of people, if every game was on every platform, like console, Nintendo, fucking PC, etc., I think that you would see a lot less console sales.
I think if everything was available on every console, you would see a lot more Nintendo sales. A lot of people have a lot of trust in Nintendo as a company.
It's that they have these exclusive titles,
and it's multi-generational trust. Like their grandparents taught their parents to trust Nintendo, and then their grandparents also taught them to trust Nintendo.
No, I'm not. Because I think that, yes, you're right, that people are much less tech literate than a lot of...
Nintendo is actually, like, a really old toy company in Japan. So, like, they've been popular for fucking 100 years or whatever, making trading cards and shit. And then they just happened to have all of the money from doing that because toys are very lucrative. Yeah. Nintendo used to have everything. Like, think about the variety of games that were on the Nintendo, like the regular NES. There was like the jungle exploration side scrollers. There's like Contra. Like, yes, there was only like side scrollers or not, but like they had a lot of variety. Like the images looked different. If they were just sprites or whatever, it didn't matter. But now there's like less games. There's objectively less games. Like some of the Nintendo games, there's no competitor. Like, what's the competitor to Animal Crossing? The Sims? I have not heard Chris Pratt's Mario. I refuse. John Leguizamo or whatever his name is from the 80s Mario is real Mario. This one, Super Mario Bros. 1993 is when it came out. Okay. Okay, I'll click that in a second. This is Super Mario Bros. 1993.
An alternate world separated by time and space, and yet somehow joined and contiguous with our home.
Mario Brothers Plumbing, no leak too small. No, don't touch it. No, it's not a big problem. Just leave it to the professionals. We'll be right there. Luigi, we got a broken dishwasher at the Riverfront Cafe. You know what that means? Yeah. We got Mike. This way. How do you know? I've been listening to pipes all my life. Come on. See that? Yeah. Down there.
You never seen this, Tyler?
Who's this Koopa clown? We gotta talk to that goofball now.
That Koopa clown? One evil, egg-sucking son of a snake.
Your princess.
Dude, it's so good. Yoshi.
Go ahead and say it. Dinosaur.
You may think of evolution as an upward process. Loyal child of the royal family. What I care about is the future of our species.
I think it's good. I think it's a really well-made movie. The concept is stupid and like the jokes are bad, but
okay, what's your name?
Luigi Mario.
Prepare for the invasion and ready the troops. We're going down.
the stompers, dude. You see these boots? These are rocket boots. Yeah, the blonde dude is Bowser. Mario's name is Mario. Mario's name is Mario Mario. Yeah, yeah, his name is Mario Mario. Oops, not 980s, 90s. What else on here?
Imagine a world where Super Mario is a realistic action game starring Chris Pratt.
It's a me, a Mario.
What the fuck? His name is Mario? His name's Mario? See this guy? $2015, too new. Too new. Here we go.
To make that a reality. The latest update features a much improved likeness, a snazzy new outfit, and this sweet title screen. There are all new levels and actual gameplay. You can jump on Goombas, hit blocks, and get coins, lots and lots of coins. Then get big and break stuff. You can squish Koopas, hit their shells, and get slightly unpredictable results. Next, find that hidden one-up and check out these fully functional warp pipes. So many warp pipes. There's a working flagpole and fireworks.
What the fuck is this? Is this not the movie?
There are question blocks that actually spawn progressive power-up.
Yeah, this is not the movie. This is a game. What the fuck? I was like, why does it look so shitty? The visuals look interesting. CGI is good.
Behold, the king of the Koopas!
Who plays Bowser?
Open the gates!
Jack Black? Nice.
That is but a taste of our fury. Do you yield? I do not. finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
What is this place?
Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine. Come on, Mario!
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
So right. Let's get back to this
People might
video.
believe. But I think it's also true that not players, like video game players, are more tech literate than they were 15 years ago. Like, people nowadays, like, if you ask somebody 15 years ago, what is a graphics card, what's a processor, what's RAM, what's a motherboard, I bet you would have less people that could answer that question then than they can now. Because overall, people have understood more.
I mean, I'll probably watch this movie eventually. I haven't watched a movie in like 4 years, but I'll watch it eventually.
Alright.
Donkey Kong.
That's the goal.
Oh my god, okay.
Not sure if you know who I am, but I'm about to rule the world.
Wow, yay.
But there's one problem. There's a human, has a mustache, just like you.
You think I know every human being with a mustache wearing an identical outfit with a hat with the letter of his first name on it? Because I don't.
Bowser is coming. Together, we are going to stop that monster.
How? Look at us. We're adorable.
Oh, I got this. No problem.
Come on, Mario! Our big adventure begins now!
Looks alright.
Get it off, get it off, get it off!
The voices sound weird, but I'll get past it.
Out there. With a lot of galaxies. They're all counting on us. No pressure.
It's cool how they're tying in all the games. Rainbow Road? I didn't expect that. Why did they pick Chris Pratt? Just because he's the biggest actor of all time? Currently or whatever? What else is in here, Asmon? What are you reacting to? Dwarf Fortress? Dwarf Fortress just got graphics for the first time, right? That's what the Steam update was instead of letters with colors, they're graphics now? Does Mario talk in the new games? Like, the most recent Mario game that I played was probably Mario Dance Dance Revolution. And they didn't really talk in there. It was all text.
Apparently this game is not for insane people. Here we go. Oh my god. Alright.
Oh, he talks in
Seven
Paper
dwarves
Mario?
set out from the mountain homes to establish a new colony in a world rife with gods, monsters, and ancient legends. They are short, sturdy creatures fond of drink and industry. In their ingenuity, they will craft incredible artifacts, faced great evils, and found a citadel to stand the test of ages. Or they'll dig a little too close to a volcano and flood the whole thing with lava. That's par for the course in Dwarf Fortress, and you can bet I'll be generating another world to do it all again either way.
What?
This modern classic has been simulating amazing stories of triumph and tragedy for nearly 20 years already.
Is
But
this
its incredible
multiplayer?
depth has long been locked behind an accessibility barrier of ASCII graphics and arcane keyboard controls. It's a wall that was worth climbing over. But now its long-awaited Steam release has helped ease that effort with attractive pixel art and a slew of quality-of-life improvements.
Oh my god.
Fundamentally enhancing this already amazing game for a new generation of storytellers. Even if you've never dared these intimidating tunnels yourself, you've almost certainly felt Dwarf Fortress's impact. Developer Bay 12
What?
Games effectively founded the genre we now call the Colony Sim with it, paving the way for games like RimWorld and influencing countless others.
Oh, is
But
this
among-
like Terraria and shit like that? Factorio, yeah.
Among its many successors,
No?
none can
Okay.
procedurally generate such
Yeah, I was gonna say no.
and fill it with interesting
That's not what a colony sim
characters
is. That's like
so
RimWorld.
reliably as Dwarf Fortress. Its
Look at
Steam
this.
release finally brings the controls in line with those descendants too, adding actual mouse support, a fully fledged graphical interface, and settings menus rather than being forced to directly edit game files. The proper mouse support alone is worth the cost of entry here, and the simple ability to click through the interface is a breeze.
Dwarf meets world.
For all that remarkably thorough improvement, Dwarf Fortress is still an unapologetically complex game.
It
Its new
seems that
tutorial
way.
helps towards getting you started and teaching you how to play, but
Yeah.
no tutorial could cover a tenth of what
I
you
think
might
all of your
eventually
people
want to know.
in like
Those involve
RimWorld have
limitations. This is, after all,
like
a
affinities
game
and
where
stuff
you
too.
have
Like they
separate
won't like it if you
workshops
make
to
them
spin
dig if they like
thread,
herbs.
weave cloth, then dye that cloth before making even a single dwarven sock. It's a game where you'll become an amateur mineralogist, as all good dwarves are, to figure out where in the geological strata to dig for iron, tin, coal, or gold. You'll somehow
Oh my
learn the
God.
difference between gabbro and granite. You'll almost certainly read an article describing what a quern is. One of the
A
biggest
what?
conceits in Dwarf Fortress is that you can't directly control your dwarves outside of actively mobilized military squads.
Uh-huh.
You set their direction in the world, but can't make them do a damn thing to your personal timetable. And it's delightful that you can't. Each dwarf has thoughts, memories, favorite things, personal skills, relationships, and physical traits that affect their choices. They'll make bizarre decisions because of who they are. And the procedural nature of it all means that those are sometimes hysterical, frustrating, or even poignant.
Look at that guy keep
Everyone
going
has
through
their
the
own tales of
chest.
the time of who they are.
Look at it.
And
Look at his
traits
character
that
not
affect their choices.
not
They'll
pathfinding
make
very
bizarre
well.
decisions because of who they are.
Where's he trying to
And the
go to is
procedural
what I want to
nature
know.
Of it all means that those are sometimes hysterical, frustrating, or even poignant. Everyone has their own tales of the time a dwarf went sprinting out into a goblin horde because they forgot their socks in the pasture.
What?
But you're just as likely to see a beautiful story, like my two doctors who got married in the middle of a goblin attack.
What in the
As
fuck
nearby
is
patients
this?
cried out in pain and enemies were at the gates, they held an impromptu wedding in the ER, officiated by a friend. Poignant, as though they decided that if their lives were threatened, they would rather die married than apart. Hilarious, because a patient was mid-surgery and everyone involved was spattered with blood. These stories are everywhere in Dwarf Fortress, and finding them as part of play, notifications let you know that certain things are happening,
Uh-huh.
but to fully understand them, you have to read the event logs, look at the history of your dwarves, and spend some time paused just poking around your fort. It's deeply rewarding for players who are curious and introspective, or who enjoy role-playing their fortress
Oh my
inhabitants,
God, what
figuring
is
out
this?
why they
This
do
is
what they
insane.
do.
Oop,
Dwarf Fortress is a nerd game par excellence, asking for your attention and care in a vast range of subjects. There is always something new to learn, a challenge to attempt, or
Interesting.
an absurd project to try. I don't find all its complexity scary or intimidating. I find it a challenge I want to rise to. The community's motto has long been that losing is fun, and you'll see players describing doomed ends that range from poisonous monster breath to dwarven civil wars as a potential source of that fun. You're here to collaborate with game systems, not fight against them. And the fact that most fortresses end in ruin is simply part of how you learn the deep systems, gaining ever more knowledge of how to survive dwarven life for next time.
This is insane.
Set your own goals here. You could make your fort a hub of crafts and trade, selling carved stone tchotchkes to the wider world. Or instead, one where dwarven smiths use the secrets of steel making to forge an invincible military. Either way, you'll be building a lot, and construction is an entire subgame on its own.
It seems
Placing
that
fortifications and workshops is one end of it, but so is making efficient fortress designs where dwarves only travel a minimal distance from their beds to their duties. It's especially fun to build devious traps, be they classic pits or entire false entranceways that open, let in attackers, and then seal before flooding with water or magma. Or maybe minecarts filled with swords that stop abruptly and fling them into enemies. We call those dwarven shotguns. One of my favorite challenges to build around comes when you open up the large, monster-filled caverns beneath the earth. Opening caves attracts wandering monster-slaying adventurers who will petition to live in your fort so they can explore the depths, which means you'll probably want to build a really cool tavern, complete with staff and bards. All adventurers need a tavern, after all. I love to read the combat logs of slayers against monsters.
Oops, closed the wrong one. I was trying to look at that marijuana edible thing you linked in Discord. Alright, which one is this showing? Alright, resize. Death by Gummy Bears, marijuana edibles, selling THC products 50 times more powerful than allowed. So it's like 5,000 milligrams in a container or something, depending on where you are. That's a lot. There's some places in Oklahoma where they're selling 3,000 milligrams as a lot, as like a 1 unit. Is there more to this story? I wonder if they were using regular. Yeah, I'm using an ad blocker, dude. Continue to the site.
Says buyer beware when it comes to THC edibles. The board says it found companies selling gummies with amounts that far exceed the legal limit.
So I wonder if this was only if they're exceeding the legal limit, or if they're using other like hemp-derived Delta 9 and stuff like that that makes you feel even higher than you actually are. And some of that stuff like metabolizes into THCA, so it keeps you higher for longer.
It is suing 3 businesses claiming they violated state regulations. As Caroline Cummings reports, it's the first such case since lawmakers passed the edibles law this summer.
So to our fellow Minnesotans, we encourage you to be cautious.
Cautious about consumption of recently legal THC edibles after the Minnesota Board of Pharmacy in a new lawsuit alleges 3 businesses were selling products with 50 times the legal limit that look like candy to kids, which is prohibited under the law.
We take this conduct seriously, and we look forward to continuing our work together to protect Minnesotans by holding bad actors accountable.
You can only sell up to 5 milligrams of THC per serving and 50 milligrams per package, but the board says
a normal dose for a person that is an adult male of cannabis, like THC derivative in a gummy, is like 100 to 300 for a normal person. And that's not somebody who has like a history of consumption or wants to get their face ripped off or anything like that. So 50 per package is, you have to eat 6 packages, and these packages are probably $5 a piece, so you're spending $30 to get high no matter what.
Northland Vapor stores in Moorhead and Bemidji were selling Death by Gummy Bears. that had 100 milligrams of THC per serving. It's asking a court to let them destroy what they estimate to be $7 million worth of retail product that
two bags
violates
for
state
$70.
rules. The board received a
No.
report from the FDA that 5 teenagers in Des Moines, Iowa were sickened by these gummies. The Minnesota legislature tasked the Board of Pharmacy with oversight, but the board says with no state licenses required, it has limited power to enforce and regulate the products and making it difficult to track down who's selling what and where.
Protect the public.
Jill Phillips, executive director of the Board of Pharmacy, said the board's workload has doubled since the new law took effect. It's why she and others want lawmakers to beef up enforcement and oversight next year. And the key author of the bill has already pledged to make that happen.
We need licensing, we need taxation, better regulation and enforcement.
Caroline Cummings, WCCO 4 News.
WCCO connected with the owner of the businesses named in the lawsuit. His attorney said the company tried to work.
So like this guy here, this guy smokes like an eighth of weed at a time, which is a lot. Like he smokes my entire day's consumption, or 2 days worth of consumption in one session, and he's gonna eat 3,000 milligram edible. That would be 30 packages, so this would be like $700 of the ones that the Minnesota thing was just talking about.
And that was it, and then I got the Matchy Pendy to start off with that.
Oh, lordy, lord.
If I have a black light, this one turns actually pink. It's pink Lucy on this one.
Jesus, that's so hard.
Where's the part where he eats it? Yeah.
Good enough, fuck it.
See, this strip is 3,000 milligrams. Oh, you can't see it? Oh, I've got the wrong one up. Let me try to fix this. Did that fix it? Yeah, that fixed it. Okay. See this, like this strip is not all of the candy from the container. So they might be from the same areas. That's from Texas. Ericon is from Texas. But like this strip right here is more than they were complaining about in that CBS News story. And this is one dose from the store.
Added the yellow accents on the car. You want to know more about it? Check out the second channel. I feel like I took them at the perfect time because they're just starting to hit me. They don't taste the best, I will say. They definitely don't, so we're just going to roll them all up into one ball and just... Look at that shit. Look at that nut.
Yeah, this is how much he has in his hand right here. This is 6 of those containers that they were complaining about.
Nonsense right there. We're just gonna...
These are not THC though. I think these are hemp derived. So they have to like metabolize into THC before it gets you high.
Oh my goodness, it's super lit. Oh, thank you so much. Yay, thank you.
See, like this guy runs an online head shop, and these gummies are created by another cannabis creator. Being that high has to be a nightmare. Yeah, dude. And some people, they can eat 1,000 milligrams and it feels like a 5 milligram edible to them because their body just doesn't metabolize it, so that they don't get high from it. So there's people that are like making videos where they're downing 5,000 milligrams and they're fine. Like Cubans did 1,000 milligrams for his Twitch streams, that's like $100 worth of oil. So like these gummies being like $20 or whatever, because they're made out of hemp, not cannabis, is a good deal for people that live in an illegal state, because these can be shipped right to your door and they won't show up on a piss test, so you don't lose your construction job. Yeah, Cupins has been a professional stoner for 5 years or more, I think. I haven't looked how long his history is, but he can't smoke with a lighter anymore. The time that he came back and smoked with a lighter, he ended his stream like half an hour early. But I can't really say anything. Like, when I smoke on stream, like, I get quiet and awkward, so.
I like to get high and then eat candy, but today we're eating candy then getting high.
No,
Alright, you guys, today I'm doing
you get extra fucked up from smoking with a lighter because it has more combustible plant material than when you vape it, so you're getting like carbon and other, like, I don't know what the chemicals are, but it's stuff from the plant matter that makes you more tired. It converts from THCA to like CBN or something like that, or maybe from CBD to CBN, but it makes you sleepy. And it's worse with smoking with a lighter than smoking with a vape. That's what Cupin said. I've vaped before, and like it doesn't hit me the same. So like I can't vape only, but it's better for you if you vape only. Like your PAX is way better than or you have a PAX, right? Or is it a Mighty? That's better than like a spoon pipe that's full of resin and shitting in your mouth and stuff.
Another edible video. I'm going to try a brand new edible brand out, but this one's a little bit different. These edibles...
To preface, this guy here, right here, has a normal tolerance. Like, he would smoke a typical amount of weed and put it down. Like, he's not getting ultra fucked up all the time, all day, 24/7. He does smoke... no, he's a medical patient in his state, so he has a limit that he can deal with, so he probably doesn't exceed his limit. Yeah, this is Dope as Yola's product.
Are from the company called The Dopest, which is owned by Dope as Yola. He's a very popular YouTuber. If you know me, you probably know him as well. I've been a big fan of his for a long time now. He's actually the one that inspired me to originally start creating cannabis content on Instagram back in the day. This is not an advertisement. I did not get these for free. I am not getting paid to try these out. I genuinely wanted to just try them out myself because I like Thomas. I think he's a really good guy. But there is something a little bit different about these edibles than your normal Delta 9 THC edibles you're probably used to having. These edibles are made with HHC instead of THC, and HHC is basically like a new version of Delta 8, and I know that Delta 8 stuff kind of has a bad rep, but some of this stuff actually does really work if it's made properly. The main reason why Delta 8 gets a bad reputation is because there really is no regulation in that market, and a lot of companies are really doing whatever the fuck they want. There's usually no real standard for quality, and I know you'd think that, you know, hemp is hemp, but just like cannabis, you can grow shitty weed, you can grow...
What they mean by there's no quality control is like they can be using moldy product and not telling you about it. They could be using stuff that's like infested with bugs. They could be using just the root system of a hemp plant and not giving you any of the leaf and the oil material. So, but Yola is vegan and cares about product quality, so
shitty hemp and you can grow
this is
good
fine.
hemp. But from what I understand, this company right here is actually putting some pretty good products in here, and I want to give it a try. As you see on the packaging, this entire bag has 1,000 milligrams of HHC, and I'm going to eat the entire bag and see how I feel. On the back here, it recommends only eating a half of one to start, but I'm no pussy. I'm here to party. So I'm going to eat the entire bag and see how these HHC edibles hit compared to THC edibles. Now I'm opening the pack, and I must say that the packaging is really good on this. Has a shark just annihilating a bunch of blue raspberries on it, and they are little blue raspberry gummy sharks.
Yeah, he's eating the whole bag, and the whole bag is 2 of what they were complaining about in that CBS News story. But this is HHC, not THC.
Yeah, these are bigger than they looked on his video, I'm not going to lie. So one of these little sharks has 100 milligrams of HHC in it, and there's 10 sharks in the entire container. It tastes pretty good. Not really weedy. At all. One down, 9 to go. The hardest part of this video is going to be eating all this candy. Usually I like to get high and then eat candy, but today we're eating candy then getting high. Well, as you can see there, it's just nice light blue color, and it's coated in some sugar, give it a little extra sweetness. I'm really not sure if the weed's in the gummy or the sugar or both, but you really cannot taste weed in these at all. Like, proceed with caution with these. Alright, shark number 3 going down the hatch.
I've never had weed gummies, I don't think. Maybe one time.
Shark number 4. I think this is number 5. Oh, I need some water. Need to hydrate these sharks a little bit. Alright, last little drop of gummies. I've only eaten half of the gummies so far, and I must say I'm pretty fucking full. I'm stone sober right now. I have not smoked at all today. I wanted to create this video as sober as a nun to like really see how these hit me. But now I'm low-key wishing I just took a bong rip or two so it'd be easier to eat these. And they're not bad. They're really not. It's just a lot of candy. I'm trying to just wash them down at this point.
That guy's drinking the same kind of water as me.
I think it's my body subliminally telling me that I've consumed a lot of HHC so far, and I might want to take it easy, but fuck that. Alright, 8 down, 2 to go. I'm officially starting a timer now, because I'd like to think that these have started to swim through my digestive system by now. I can't believe there's weed in these. Like, they just don't taste like it.
There's not weed in it.
It's kind of scary. One more to go. The entire bag is empty. Cheers, y'all. Whew. And that's all of them. All 10 blue raspberry sharks from the dopest shop. I am very curious how the rest of my day is going to go. It is about 1 o'clock right now as I film this. So I'm about to have a long day potentially. If I really get hit with a real like 1,000 milligram THC like high, I'm going to be very impressed. But while I wait for these edibles to kick in, let me let you guys know about today's sponsor, me. Make sure you guys check out popcorn.com, everyone. It is the #1 online head shop on the entire internet. I got hand pipes, rigs, bongs, bangers, anything you find.
It's funny how every online head shop is the #1 online head shop.
Your local head shop, and it can get delivered right to your front door at popcorn.com. I can ship to anywhere in the United States, so instead of going to the head shop next time you need something, check out popcorn.com. I probably have it there. I got a huge selection of glass and everything else you'd find at your local head shop, and it can get delivered right to your front door. And I know a lot of you guys know this, but I'm moving warehouses soon, so I'm trying to move as much glass as I currently have in inventory as possible. So I have a lot of glass going on sale every day. I'm putting different pieces on sale. So check out my website, popcorn.com, and see what pieces are on sale today. You might find something you love, and you'll be able to get it for a dope price. But now I just wait for these edibles to kick in. I'm just going to keep looking at this package over and over again. This looks super official. You got the barcode, you got Thomas's face right there. They even got one of those little scanner things. Let's see what happens when we scan it. Alright, got my phone out. I'm going to try to scan this. Takes you to the website I got them from. Yes, I am of legal age. And just sent you to his website and asked you if you have any questions about it. So if you check out these 2 things he has up here explaining what Delta 8 is, again, this is completely legal. You can get this delivered to any of the 50 states currently. A couple states are trying to put an end to Delta 8, but it's really only where weed is already legalized, and I feel like the government just doesn't want the Delta 8 business to fuck up their tax money. So I'm not saying that Delta 8 and HHC and all these little THC loopholes will be legal forever. Once weed's fully legalized, I have a feeling they're gonna make this shit illegal just because that's how our government works. But for now, this is fucking cool. And again, I'm going to be dead honest on this review, guys. If these don't work, if these don't get me high, or even if I only feel a little high, I'm going to let you guys know exactly how I feel in about an hour and a half. So thanks to the magic of editing, we're going to time travel real quick a little bit in the future and see how
Look at his eyes.
Alrighty, according
Starting
to my
to get
timer,
baked.
it has been just under an hour since I ate them. And I'm feeling pretty high already. I'm not going to lie. These definitely got some weed in.
You see how his eyelids are a little bit more purple, and they're kind of droopy at the sides here. It's not like a sharp circle.
Now, I will admit, it's not an
He's not that high. He could probably
feeling.
drive
Like,
and stuff. He'd
sometimes
be
when
fine
edibles
at
start to
work,
kick in,
but
especially when I eat a high dose, I can like feel it hitting me like a wave. But this feels more like
this
a,
is probably
like,
the weed equivalent of
low-tide
having like
situation,
one beer.
just creeping up. I can notice the effects already though. Like, I'm pretty stoned, but this isn't like traditional THC. It really isn't. I feel high though. It's still weed. I definitely still feel like I'm high on weed, but just the come up felt a little different. It's still early though. On the packaging here, it says that the effects can be delayed up to 2 hours, so I'm curious how I'm going to be feeling in the next hour. But so far, from my first experience with HHC, I really can't hate. Like, if you live in an area where you can't get weed or you can't get edibles, this is not a bad option. I still feel like if you live in Cali or Colorado or somewhere where like the cannabis industry has really been integrated, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be one of those situations where he feels like he's peeing for 10 minutes and then he gets lost in the mirror for an hour.
I don't know if there's a real market for these, but if you live in Missouri or even if you live in PA and want to eat edibles, like in my state, the medical program does not make edibles. You have to make your own if you want to have edibles, or you can get some hemp edibles like these ones. Because I definitely am high, but I don't know if I'm like 1,000 milligrams THC high, but this isn't THC, so it's not going to hit me like 1,000 milligrams THC in theory. But I could definitely see myself in the future eating 1 or 2 of these gummies and enjoying a movie and just getting, solidly high, not overwhelmingly stoned. But I'm going to come back in another 30 minutes to an hour and see if I'm feeling any higher, because I will admit, if this is my peak high, this isn't like the craziest edible I've ever had, but it works. But I have a feeling there's another level to this edible that I haven't quite hit yet, and I'll let you know. We are officially past the 90-minute mark, which in my opinion is like...
Alright, now let's look at him. You can see his eyelids are even lower. There's less of the eye, the colored part visible, the iris. He's not bloodshot, but that might just be my screen. But like a lot of people who consume a lot, they don't get bloodshot anymore. So he's actually feeling it here. He's about to say that it's a pretty comfortable high and that he's really enjoying it and it was definitely worth the money. That's my prediction.
The standard for edible highs, you're definitely going to be feeling it by then with most edibles if you're going to feel it at all. And I'm feeling it. Like I said, this is a very similar high to a THC high. The only thing different that I've noticed really is the feeling of the come up of the high. Like how I described it where it's like a wave and it like really hits you. This was just like a real gradual increase to get to where I am. It wasn't overwhelming. It honestly was probably nicer for people that don't have a nice tolerance and aren't used to that like intense feeling of THC. This is probably a better alternative because it was a much more mellow come up to being this stoned. But let me tell you guys, I'm fucking baked. I just want to put on a hoodie and like lay. I am putting on a hoodie because I'm fucking cold. Oh, it feels like a hug. By the way, merch is available on my online head shop, popcorn.com, the #1 online head shop on the entire internet. Have you ever been too high and just needed a hug? Just put on my merch. It's basically the same thing. Now, comparing this to the high I felt when I had that 500 milligrams nerd rope like a month ago that you guys might have seen, I feel a little less high than that. But again, we need to remember that this is with HHC, not THC, so it's not going to feel exactly the same. So if I take these again in the future, I'm probably going to double what my normal THC dose is.
They're pretty pushy about the merch because cannabis content on YouTube is not monetizable. It's you cannot get ad revenue if you use trigger words or show loaded product or in some cases show smoke. Like the Yola podcast, they have to wait 10 minutes in before they even spark their joints and stuff.
And see where I go from there. Like, if I enjoy a nice 100 milligram THC high, I would probably like a nice 200 milligram of this Delta 8 stuff. It just seems like a much more mellow version of weed. It's like diet weed. This is like the
Weird. Hemp feels like diet weed. Do you ever watch this show, Tyler? Speaking of Goblin, he's on it. Him eating the gummy and you seeing how high he got was all I was expecting out of that video. And did you notice that it was exactly 10 minutes long?
Are nothing like to get out. They don't understand terps.
Whoa.
Like they don't get terps at all in Illinois dispensary product.
It's all just like percent, or what are they selling their shit?
Yeah,
on?
a lot of.
You gotta watch this sometime. Pine Park After Dark is, I would consider it a podcast. It's the one I've been watching a lot lately. You guys got anything else you want to watch right now? I'm thinking about ending the stream. Cheryl's awake now. It's time to hang out. Right on. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in Discord. Thanks for the sub, Tyler. Appreciate it. Thank you for staying subbed, crazy. Sorak, if you see this in the clip, I streamed a lot longer than I said I was going to, but it wasn't all Melvor. I did not get the fish. We'll try again in a couple days or whatever, maybe tomorrow. Thank you for coming. I've been the Dude Broman the Hiberian. Follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/@thedude, TH